Feel targeted.
So good. It was so good. Admit it.
It was
It was
good.
pretty
It was
good. It was
good.
pretty good.
And Tareyak, you should feel targeted. Yes.
What can I say? What can I say?
All right. So Damon, you are the leader. Lead us.
Okay. So debates. We're going to open up with the main debate, which I think everybody's seen the question, which is, Kat, can you phrase it in a way that's going to sound polite?
Can, or not can, like of course they can, but would it be socially acceptable, or should men find it socially acceptable for a woman who was previously promiscuous to stop having premarital relations? Is that nice?
Tareyak, are you happy with that question?
Yeah, should a sort of sexually promiscuous woman expect a man to wait to marriage?
Yes.
Right. So we're talking just so because when I saw this question, I felt like my brain was going to melt. But when Kat explained it to me, it sounded clearer. So we're talking about a woman who is kind of like a, shall we say, born again virgin, basically.
Yes.
She got railed out throughout college or university, presumably, and then decided that she wanted to be high class until there was a ring on her finger. So she
I
expects.
believe the scientific term is stuffed like a Christmas turkey.
Oh my gosh.
What? I didn't use a swear. I didn't use a swear, Kat.
Mm-hmm.
Giblets. Yes. Okay. So yes, after giving herself away to everybody earlier on in life, she had a moment where she was born again, meets Mr. Right, doesn't give him anything until he literally puts his whole life on the line and a ring on her finger. Okay. So we both agree to that then. All of us agree to that. Good, good. Okay, so we're going to run through this debate. I think we'll have a set amount of time for opening arguments and then go through a cross-examination. We can be flexible on it, I guess. And then after this debate, we'll come to the conclusion of who wins. We'll deliberate on how to evaluate that, and then we're going to go through some quick fire debates. Is that right, Kat?
Yes, we're going to do that.
Right. Sure. How many of those would you like to do?
We'll see what happens.
Cool. Okay. All right then. So we have the question. Should we jump right into it, or anything else to talk about first?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
We will decide by flipping a coin.
Oh no, ladies first. I'm a gentleman.
No, you first then. Make him go first.
The saying is ladies first.
No. Make him go first. He's a boy.
Flip
See,
coin down.
This is where we come up with the first issue with debates. Sometimes people like going first. Others think that it's an advantage to go second. Yeah. Okay. Look, we'll flip a coin in that case, because it's interesting that you both recognize that. That's good. That's good, because I sometimes like going first, sometimes like going second. To make this fair, I'll actually get a real coin instead of just imagining one. Here we are.
Oh, this is
okay.
Rigged. This is rigged.
No. I've got a coin here. I've got a coin here. Okay, so normally it is ladies first. So because Tareyak got tricked on that, I'm going to ask Tareyak to pick whether he wants heads or tails.
Tails, please.
Tails, right? Let's flip it. I'm afraid it's heads. So
rigged. Fucking rigged.
it's not rigged. It's not rigged. I promise. Okay,
it's more rigged than the election, man.
Tareyak, I think you've so Kat has to go first. This is because if it was tails, you'd be going first.
Right? Oh, nice. No, it's not rigged.
Because
not rigged.
He doesn't want to
totally
go.
Legitimate, unbiased, unquestionable.
No, I was asking to see who's going first. That was my question to begin with. Sorry. So yeah, Kat, I think, shall we agree? Let me see if I can get a timer here. Let me just get my watch right. Okay. Gotta love how prepared I am.
What?
Okay. No, just getting a stopwatch here. Okay, cool. So shall we give 5 minutes for opening arguments, or would you guys like less?
Like 2 minutes.
Three?
Two. We don't need that long.
2 goes by pretty quickly when you're
Okay,
talking,
3.
even
3.
faster if you're a woman. Okay,
Wow.
3 minutes.
3. Okay.
Casual Friday night sexism. Okay, 3 minutes. Let's go.
Okay, so I'm going first. All right. So I think women should be able to stop having sex as soon as they realize that they're horrible degenerates, and they should immediately stop having sex the moment they figure this out. And some people are smarter than others that figure it out later in life. And, you know, we need to be understanding that not everybody grows up in a home where they have enough people helping them make decisions in life. And some people, you know, they need a little bit more help finding the straight and narrow path. Yeah, I think that's like enough, right?
Okay. So that's 42 seconds.
See?
Right. Okay. If that's okay, now you can do this. This is cool if you want to concede. I've paused it, by the way, while we're speaking.
Okay.
If you want to concede that, that's fine. Sometimes people prefer to do most of the debate in the cross-examination.
Okay.
So if
yeah.
that's what you want, that's cool. So you happy for us to go on to Tareyak?
Yeah.
Tareyak, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm
So
pretty much
we'll
doing the same as
reset.
well.
So let's go. 3 minutes starting now.
So, given the question, should a promiscuous woman expect a man to wait till marriage? I am preparing the side of no, because this fundamentally requires that the man bow down to a woman's contradictory expectation. Regardless of opinion of sexual promiscuity or religion, the marriage is bound to fail because women want leaders, not followers. This is a self-defeating expectation as it sets it up for failure because a man has to follow a woman's preference. Ergo, that's pretty much the sum of the argument. I'll use the remaining of time just to get one kind of like early dig in. Is Kat's whole intro statement was women should stop having sex, but she never said why. That was just they should, but never gave the reasoning behind that. And with that, I yield the rest of my opening statement. Good sir.
Okay. So
Okay.
that was just under a minute. That came in at about 56 seconds.
You guys think women talk more?
Yeah, normally they do. I mean, in this case, the kind of negative stereotype would have probably worked in your favor, though. But we'll see how the cross-examination goes.
Okay.
So, right. Opening statement's done. Now we're going to move into cross-examination. So I will give, since your opening statements were really brief, I think that if we want a meaty argument here, I'm going to set 15 minutes here.
Nobody can talk that long.
No, cross-examination. So that means questions and answers. Timer goes both ways. So because we started with Kat, we'll go with Kat now. Or actually, to be fair, we'll give Kat the choice now. So because you opened first, do you want Tareyak to cross-examine you first, or would you want to cross-examine Tareyak first?
Ooh, yeah, make him do it first, so he's at a disadvantage. Go.
Okay, so we've got 15 minutes, Tareyak. You'll be able to ask any questions you like. Now, normally, the rules can vary from debate to debate here. What I like to stick to is, Kat, if you can make your answers pretty brief. If he's asking you a yes or no question, try to answer it in a yes or no. If he's asking your opinion on something, try to make it concise. If it runs on too long, I will pause the timer so that we're not deducting time from him. Okay? Is that fair?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so Tareyak, you ready?
Yes. And
Cool.
also, I
15
want to go
minutes.
first on this. So,
Okay.
Are we started?
15-minute timer starts now.
Kat, where were you last night at 7 o'clock? No, I was joking. It's cross-examination, make it fun. Okay, first question, right? Because, again, kind of like your statement was in terms of like setting the societal standard, in terms of like from the male perspective at least, right? Trying to paint you a picture of like what this kind of sentiment is for a male. Could you answer this question? Do you think, or do you should a man spend 12 years to become a doctor only to work at a local grocery store?
No.
So then here's the thing, because as a male, from the male perspective, he used to spend at least 12 years, like from like if you're to propose like 18 as being high value of the woman. Man's like taking 12 years to get himself right, get into the gym, get into physical shape, build muscle as well, which is probably the hardest part. Develop his finances, be able to manage a household or provide for a household from a financial point of view, which requires not only being able to earn the money, but being able to practice self-discipline of being able to not spend too much money, be able to actually save the money as well. So when you say a woman should expect a man to wait to marriage and she's had a promiscuous past, this is like saying for a man to develop these 12 years only to throw himself away to a grocery store job in perspective. Would you agree with that?
No.
Why not?
I don't think it makes sense in this case. Can you elaborate why you think that goes with what we're talking about here? Because how is working for a job the same as this?
Because when you think about fundamentally, wait, sorry, repeat the question.
I'm just trying to understand how you're making the connection between working for a job and a woman not having sex before marriage.
What I'm saying is that to dedicate 12 years of your life to elevate yourself to the level of a doctor, only to become a grocery store clerk or something like in terms of that, like a basic job, is essentially is what you're asking this man to do. Is he's basically worked himself up to get a high value woman, but you're expecting him to accept a low value woman.
Okay, so what I think is that would be in a world where they're very different. So like the man would be, let's say, high value. You're saying that he's a virgin, has no sexual experience. Like, what are the stipulations in this particular case? Because what I'm saying is, let's say they're both equally degenerates, and then she realizes she doesn't want to be a degenerate anymore.
I get that, but in terms of my clarification, it's still my interrogation. So like I will answer that after. I just want to gauge your thing.
I was about to say we're approaching 30 seconds with trying to elaborate this one question from when Kat started answering it. So I'm pausing it until we get to an answer for this question that Tareyak's asking.
Okay.
Okay, carry on. We've paused now at 12 minutes.
It's already been 12 minutes?
No, there's 12 minutes left. Down.
Okay,
counting down from, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, in terms of like the investment that a man has to do in order to get to the stage of even being able to marry this woman, he has to overcome all these obstacles. Like I said, being able to provide for a household, elevate himself, physically fit, all that kind of stuff. So he's like fertile and things like that. But when it comes to like his like lady of choice, you would say, yeah, invest in this woman that was sexually promiscuous in the past, which again is kind of like low value in terms of like being able to foster an actual like relationship that will prosper. And like I mentioned in my opening statement, it's setting the man up for failure because he's having to accept a contradictory expectation from the woman. All of a sudden, she's trying to act like a virgin when she wasn't in her past.
Okay, so I think this is a little bit convoluted. So let's try to see.
I can give you another example if that will, because this plays just purely along the lines of promiscuity. Do you think a former gay man should expect a virgin
if he becomes straight?
Yeah. In his 20s, let's say he got penetrated by 50 different guys, and now he's born again, and he expects a virgin.
I mean, probably someone who's in the same sort of degeneracy category where they're equally degenerate. They'd probably be a good match.
But generally saying, would you say that he should expect a virgin?
No.
That's the same conclusion. You're asking me, someone who's been penetrated, let's say, over 50 times, will all of a sudden expect a high value person. Doesn't make any sense.
Okay, let's try this. Let's try wording it this way. Okay. Let's go look at it from the point of view of society as a whole instead of individual people. Do we want formerly promiscuous women to stop destroying marriages and families by being promiscuous and trying to poach mates that are already taken with families?
Guys. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. I just have to moderate a little bit here. Okay, so now it's becoming a bit of a back and forth in the discussion. Okay. So no, that's cool. That's cool because we're you know going through like intro to debate strategies. So instead of going through to discussion, I think we can either move past this question, or I can try and get see if Kat's willing to give some kind of answer to it. So I think Tareyak is trying to kind of obviously build a point here with saying that the man has invested time, effort to try and be a top pick guy, right? So if the woman hasn't done the right thing, why do you think that, Kat, I'm asking you, why do you think that she should expect the guy to take her seriously if he's a high value guy based on her past, when his past has been a pretty impeccable past working on himself?
Oh, I'm not expecting her to get a high value guy.
Okay. Tareyak, are you happy with that answer? So from what you're asking, this guy who's invested 12 years into getting himself right, according to Kat, she'd be perfectly happy for that guy to tell her to hit the streets.
Yeah, but that defeats her main premise, whereas sexually promiscuous woman shouldn't.
That's fair enough.
No,
that's fair enough. So according to Kat, I'm assuming, Kat, tell me if I'm wrong, that just because she's now chosen to get herself right, it doesn't kind of negate her past faults. And a man who hasn't made those kind of mistakes in his past can basically ignore her without being, shall we say, unfair. Are you happy with that, Kat? Is that pretty much what you're saying?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Tareyak, are you happy with that answer?
Not
with regards to her proving her point, but just that's the answer that she's given.
Yeah, I accept that in terms of that, but then in terms of the second question, in terms of the former gay man, I believe she said no to
that. Okay, I'm going to restart the timer and let's go through with that second question. Okay?
Yeah, so just to repeat the question again, Kat, it's, do you think a former gay man should expect a virgin wife?
No.
So if that's the case, how do you resolve the former promiscuous woman expecting a man to wait?
From here, sorry, because that's another question that you're deriving from those first two. From here, I'm starting to count back from 12 minutes, okay? If you want to ask that question again, Tareyak.
Yeah, so again, do you think a former gay man should expect a virgin wife?
No.
So in terms of that, how do you resolve the original question where a sexually promiscuous woman should expect a man to wait to marriage?
I would expect her to do it, but for maybe not so a high value man. That's it.
But again, generally speaking, you're saying you want sexually promiscuous women to marry.
Yes, I want them off the streets.
But again, like you said, in terms of society, we don't want marriages to fail. But then you're setting these women up for failure.
Well, I mean, I think they should marry the not so high value men. Get them off the streets.
But that marriage will inevitably fail, and then they'll end up back on the streets.
I mean, you want to put them in harems? Like, what do you want to do with them?
Well, what we're saying, well, they can just die off.
Oh my gosh.
Every single day, there are fresh 18-year-olds hitting the dating market. And that's one thing that fellas forget. They often forget, oh, I'm lost, I'm in my mid-20s, I'm overweight, got nothing going for me. They don't realize that with time and patience, anything is possible, gentlemen. And there is, like I said, there is more and more women coming into this dating market. And yes, it might be an uphill battle. But like I said, invest in those 12 years might be the best thing you ever do. And And like I said, in terms of to get back to the point, you're setting you're asking a man to bow down to a contradictory claim, because now all of a sudden she's a born again virgin, but she's physically not a virgin. And we can go through stats in terms of more body count, the higher risk of the marriage failing. And like I said, it's trying to put a band-aid on a cannonball shaped hole in the ship. It's not going to do much.
Okay, but you're okay with a man waiting if she's a virgin?
Kat, it's his questions. We can get to that, but
it increases the likelihood of the marriage succeeding. So that's something we should, or we ought to do. Correct.
Okay.
Tareyak, you've got 9 minutes and 15 seconds to ask some more cross-examination.
I can concede the rest of the time, because, like I said, I'm anticipating a couple of attacks as well. And
okay, like just to let you know, you're giving up 2/3 of your time to grill her here. If you want to do that, that's cool.
No, like I said, in terms of the whole dynamic, I'm pretty sure I've kind of explained the whole kind of like logical contradiction, where it's you're telling a man to bow down to a woman, where one wants a leader, and so on and so forth. And then when we kind of tie up the whole promiscuous case, you have the guy being penetrated 50 times and the woman being penetrated 50 times. One she's not accepting, the other she is accepting. So like I said, in terms of the actual kind of logistics of it, and then I'm kind of anticipating a couple of attacks, so then I can flip it back as well. So like I said,
okay, all right. So Tareyak is conceding 9 minutes of his time, and we're going to go to Kat here. Kat, you have 15 minutes to cross-examine him. After that, we're going to go into final thoughts, where you have up to 5 minutes if you want to finish up based on what you originally said and what you've learned from each other's cross-examination questions. Okay. So 15 minutes with Kat. We are starting now.
Okay. You said that men should not let women lead as terms of when it's okay or not okay to have relations, right? But if she's a virgin, then she's allowed to lead and say, no, I'm not doing this until marriage.
Incorrect. So the whole kind of like thing in terms of the sexual promiscuity is there's 3 reasons. So basically the question is, why should the past matter for the non-virgin but not the virgin? Because she's had sex before, there's STDs, there's infertility from abortions, there's physical trauma from the actual, I don't want a roast beef sandwich down there, you know what I'm saying, boys? But then there's also the emotional thing that comes to it as well, in terms of the pair bonding, so on and so forth. So in terms of like the concessions that you will make, you would be willing to wait for the virgin, because it's going to be a first time experience. Whereas if she's already had that moment, then you need to be able to vet the woman in terms of the 100%. You know what I mean? So in terms of the actual religious implication of the whole both should wait, that is a good should. But in terms of modern day prescriptions, and knowing that was a 5% of women are actually virgins on their wedding day, there needs to be we're talking about generalities here. So in terms of the general rule, it's the exception is the virgin, but the exception doesn't make the rule.
Okay. What about, damn it, I was going to say something good. Now I forgot. This sucks. This is harder than I thought. All right.
Basically, what you want to do is you want to attack me for, it's like, but men are sexy promiscuous as well.
No, I was going to go a different way with that. Okay. What about, give me a second.
You got 15 minutes and then 9 minutes as well.
Okay. Huh. Does anybody in the chat have any good points for me?
She's using her lifeline of ask the audience, Damon.
Hang on a second, Kat. Just think back to where you were in your argument. You came out with the assumption that if the woman was a virgin, she would somehow be entitled to a position of leadership, right? And that's when Tareyak shut that down by basically explaining what he just explained now. So where do you want to build from there?
Okay, what about if the guy is broke and nobody really wants him? Can he make these sort of concessions?
If a guy's broken, nobody wants him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the question's relating to though.
Okay, so I'm just trying to get them off the streets. So what if instead of telling guys that they should never consider these women, tell the guys, like, if you reach 40 years old and nobody wants you, maybe you can concede and pick one off the streets. What about that? Can we meet there?
But again, like that's a low value man in terms of like.
Well, yeah. Well, they need love too. What about them?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like many people, let's say, point to Andrew Wilson saying, "Oh, like the lift up the shirt, he's on the way, he drinks, he smokes, all the stuff." And even himself, I think he was like, "Oh, like I'm a 3 or a 4 at best." Like that's his own words. You know what I mean? But guys in those positions can still get these women, and like I said, there are concessions, but exceptions don't make the rule.
Okay. Do we think society as a whole is better if these women are single out there trying to poach married men from happy families?
Do I think that there's women out there wanting to poach men from? Yeah, I'm sure. They're like these 304s are wild.
Okay, but wouldn't marrying them off help out families?
No, because a woman will always try to, like, these women will always try to upgrade anyway. That's why they're willing to. If I'll put it this way, if they're willing to break up one marriage, you don't think they're going to be willing to break up a second marriage?
Okay, can we move on to the next questions?
Well, it's you asking the questions. Tarek's already asked his, so it's your time now.
I don't know. I kind of like don't find this question fun anymore.
Okay, look. I'll just give you were onto some good questions there that you. There was one question that you started asking that I thought was going to go a certain way, but you went a different way. Try to re-explore what you want to ask. You have time here. I'm trying to get you guys to make the use of your time. Step back a little bit. Look at this debate and imagine, because what you're going to do afterwards, I'm just pausing the timer here. What you're going to do afterwards is you're going to be thinking, I should have said that. I should have said this. Imagine that you're having a discussion and what questions you would put on this guy if it was a discussion.
Okay.
So just step back a minute, think about everything that you would ask. If somebody's arguing with you, no, these women don't deserve anything. These born again virgins don't deserve anything. Why do you think they deserve something? What would your argument be? Put those questions to Tareyak.
Okay. Do you think that men can fall in love with someone that they haven't had sex with?
Good question.
They could. It doesn't mean they should.
Okay. Do you think that you can have sex with someone and that can cloud your judgment of whether or not they're a good person or not?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So wouldn't you say that, someone who's very promiscuous might be really, really good at that? But if you engage in that before you know if you like them or not, you might get caught up with them and make the bad choice of marrying them before you find out what they're really like without that in the picture.
Incorrect. Because like I said before, her past matters for STD, infertility from abortions, and both the physical. You got to be able to test it out in terms of the logical contradiction that she's making. She's saying that I whored out before, but now I'm born again. I'm saving myself to marriage. You don't know what it's going to be like. It could be throwing the sausage down the corridor down there. You know what I mean? And then you have no way of connecting with this woman.
Okay, first of all, the size down there has nothing to do with promiscuity. That has to do with what you're born, just like a man's size has to do with what he's born with. So
I think Tareyak and I would both tell you that what it looks like now is nothing like what it looked like when we were born. So that changes.
but I
As
mean,
Dave Chappelle once said, there ain't no such thing as good 36-year-old pussy.
okay, that's retarded. All right, so moving on. All right, let's see. Where else can I take this? All right.
Pat, what you want to do is you want to say it's like, why do these man whores deserve?
Okay, fine. Let's try that. Why do these man whores deserve a woman
you almost
who can control herself? I don't know.
So basically, what you want to do is like, basically, a woman's like, she's not a virgin, but he's also not a virgin. So, why is it different, right? And then I say, in terms of like being a whore, a man whore is a gay man, essentially, because like I said, it comes down to penetration. In terms of like the straight man, it's not the same for the average man as it is for the average woman. The average woman can walk into any club tonight, make a few grunts, point at a pussy, and she gets laid. A man does that, he's a creep, and he gets thrown out of the club. In order for a man to actually bed a woman, he has to do a lot of things. He has to improve himself. And even the guys who are like the pickup artists and all this stuff, that's still a lot of work to do. You have to have nice clothes, nice hair, have to be in shape, have to be, charming, be able to joke, be able to make her laugh. All these things that women simply don't have to do. All women have to do to get laid is just exist. By the mere fact that you have a pussy. Yes?
Tareyak, sorry, I just want to pause it for a second because I think I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I've paused the timer now anyway. But I think Kat was gonna ask, because it seems like you're arguing about the previous example that you brought up of the gay man. I think Kat was gonna say, what about why does a promiscuous man, a man who's been with many women, even though he's worked on himself and made himself, as you said before, have the muscles, the money, all of this stuff, why should he expect a virgin to begin with? Why does the born again virgin woman, not deserve the guy who's also been promiscuous, even though he might be high value? Why does the high value status only apply to the man, basically?
This is why I love the English, because they're very good at just flipping the thing and then you forget and then think. But unlike the Americans, the Irish, we see the big picture. I didn't forget the original question. The original question is, should a sexually promiscuous woman expect a man to wait to marriage? But the question is not, should a high value man expect a virgin?
Okay, Kat. So the same question still applies, right? If the man wants to have the sex before the marriage with this woman who's decided to be born again, despite her past, or rather in spite of her past, why should she be put in a position where she gives it up to this guy who's been promiscuous as well? They've both got the troubled past, but she's put a standard on herself of waiting until marriage. So what justification does the man have to say, no, I shouldn't have to wait, I want it now before I marry you? Because it seems like, I'm not putting words into Kat's mouth, it seems like when you first started asking her that, that's what she was going to run with. If I'm wrong, Kat, tell me.
I don't know anymore. Can we move to a funner question?
Fuck. Yeah, all right. Okay.
You tried your best, Damon. You tried your best.
Okay, look. Okay, we can judge it on that. Now comes the stage where you wrap up your points. So we'll give it. I think since you guys have cut down time all the way through, shall we give it 2 minutes to make your final points?
Okay.
Yeah, a bit of leeway anyway. Like I said, I'm easy.
Okay, let's say let's say we'll give it 4 minutes, and if you want to concede, you concede. Okay, so Kat, do you want to go first or second?
Second.
Okay, Tareyak, you've got 4 minutes to make some final points. Let's start now.
As I said, with the good lady, her whole argument it basically comes down to women should stop having sex, and we should just marry them, despite the fact that they're going into pretty much secular marriages and bound to fail. Expecting the man to wait to marriage again is basically getting the man to follow the woman before she even gets the ring, which is a terrible idea. In terms of the sexual promiscuity for women is different to men, as I explained before, because with women comes STDs, infertility from abortions, and all these pills they be popping, physical abuse, emotional abuse, potential scandals later on in the marriage where she maybe there's some photographs or videos of this promiscuity, and that is just a worst case for the children again, which just sets them up for more failure. And then again, in terms of a man with his promiscuity, that actually takes skill, that actually takes effort, and it might be sleazy or immoral or whatever. It still ties to the case where it still requires a lot more effort and a lot more leveling up, as they would say in the red pill community, as opposed to a woman who just simply needs to exist, grunt, point at that thing, and she gets laid. Basically, like, that's fundamentally the argument. Essentially, it comes down to the typical thing of just find a good woman or just marry up the hoes and it'll be grand. But that's why we see the such high divorce rate so far, or in modern day, I should say. And with that, I concede the rest of my time. Good gentleman and good lady.
Okie dokie. Right, we'll pause that there. And whenever you're ready, Kat, we've got 4 minutes for you as well. Starting now.
Okay. I just think that when women are born into this world now, they're being told that they have to have sex with every single person, that it's empowering, that they're going to be awesome when they do it, that they're just like men, that they won't get attached. And then women are getting traumatized. Nobody wants to commit to them because they're pretending to want nothing when they always do want something. And maybe some women are a little bit slower to learn this. And by the time they do, maybe they have like 5-6 bodies or whatever, maybe more, but hopefully around maybe 10 at least, that they figure it out. And then they want to like go stop so that they get to know people before they do that. And I don't want to punish people who want to get to know someone before they decide to do such a thing that can traumatize them with. That is all I'm saying. And yeah, that's it. I concede.
Okay. Right. So that's the end of it. We had the opening statements. We had the back and forth with the cross-examination. We made closing statements. First of all, Kat, how do you think you did?
Not good.
Why?
Because I don't think it was like a really well thought out question. But this was the only thing that we sort of had some disagreement on. So this is the only thing we could work with.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
We should do the other stuff, the other questions.
Right. Okay. Tareyak, how do you think you did?
I think we could have done it better, as always. Like Kat said, it was kind of a weird question approach, but I think we covered like a lot of areas, at least in terms of that. I understand, like I said, it's like our first debate and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of it is just about learning, kind of teaching, all that kind of stuff as well. So, like I said, kind of if I was to rate out of 10, maybe a 4, a passing grade at least. I think I like to think I passed.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, so how do you want to do this now? Do you guys want some kind of critique on
Sure.
this? Or,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
There you go.
Tell us all the ways we suck.
Right. So first of all, hang on a second. Let me just look through because I was making some notes here. Right. Okay. So, first of all, Kat, who came up with these questions? Did you both come up with these questions? Were you talking about it beforehand?
Yeah, we had like 400 questions. This is the only one we sort of did not agree with.
Okay. So how long ago did you both decide that this was going to be the thing that you're going to debate? Because you told me about it, I think 2 nights ago.
Yeah, that's when.
That's when. Okay. So first critique I'd say is that you know what I'm going to say before I say it. So if you come up with a question that you're going to debate, right? Prepare it. Right? Have at least if you're not going to prepare for the cross-examination stuff, have an opening argument. The opening argument is where you can put the crux of what it is that you want to say. And when you try to structure some kind of open argument to present how you feel about what the question is saying, usually the first point you're going to start from is to, I know people usually don't like using this term, frame the question. Okay. Present the question as you understand it. There's many ways you can look at a question. So if you say, this is how you understand the question, this is how you're going to argue the question, you can set the terms for how you're going to present it yourself. As soon as you start doing that, you can examine the meaning of the words, right? Because many questions will ask certain things that can be assumed a certain way. So you can define the words as you want to say it. And then when that leads into a cross-examination or a discussion portion of a debate, you can sit firm on what it is that you are arguing. You can say, no, this is how I presented my argument. You're not going to let the other person strawman your argument. You're not going to let the other person put other words in your mouth to reframe what it is that you're saying, to kind of misinterpret it deliberately. So this is why preparing an opening statement is quite important. And then you can elaborate on that later when they start cross-examining you. So advice for next time, plan out the question. Even if it's a question that you don't like, think outside the box. Think of several different ways that you can argue for or against it. Try to put an original spin on some of these old arguments, because that's where you can really kind of get the creative juices flowing. So you guys gave up a lot of time. And if you keep doing that, it feels like you're racing through. Okay? Why are you laughing, Kat?
No, I'm fine.
Why are you gay?
Okay, so now when it came to, look, if we're going to score this, there's different ways that you can score it. The audience is going to vote. So I think if there's any people listening, there's a lot of comments. What have people been saying? Have either of you been reading?
Basically, I'm gay and
I have a mustache.
yeah, Kaz
That's not
mustache.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, I seen somebody said that.
Also,
what's that
Kaz
based on?
said pray for my lungs.
Yeah, praying for Tareyak's lungs. Okay.
My glasses are gay. My hair is gay. Everything about me is gay, apparently. Sure, I did bring up the whole gay guy thing, so they have a point.
Well, Tareyak, these guys are watching you, so obviously it's working. You know, maybe these are compliments from those guys. We don't know. Anyway,
Really?
Glenn Lawrence Presents said there's no such thing as a formerly homosexual man. He could be dead. So yes, he would be a formerly homosexual man. Anyway, okay. Eminem DeGeneres, right? Okay. Cool.
LNM.
LNM. For me, no offense, Tareyak, I wouldn't say this to you in person, but I always like Feminem. I don't know why. Feminem for me just sounds the funniest, but yeah.
It's a nice twist. It's a nice twist.
So anyway, yeah. So when we're scoring it, you'd go for things like content, style, delivery, and how much info is being presented. So content, I'd say Tareyak came out on top of content. Style, there was a good back and forth from both of you. Delivery was fairly equal. Points of information, there wasn't that much info being presented from either side. I think that Tareyak had more to say, and some of those points of information, although you could dispute it, Kat, you didn't really want to dispute it. So I think Tareyak comes out on top of this. So yeah, it's okay. We're gonna work from here. We can get better. So the little leprechaun there. So
Look at the
I just want to look. I want to go through a couple of your arguments here, if I can. Are you happy with that?
yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
So Tareyak, when your initial point was women want leaders, not followers, when you were making your opening statement. I know Kat went first, but Kat's opening statement was really brief. We don't need to break that down because it was re-clarified in the cross-examination. You did the little dig at Kat with the end of your opening statement, saying that she mentioned, why should women stop having sex? And you pointed out that she never actually asked that. Before I actually come to you, Tareyak, I do want to ask that from Kat. Kat, why should women stop having sex? You pointed out, you said, well, if they realize they're being degenerate, they should stop it. But why?
Because men do not fall in love if you have sex early. Fairly rarely does that happen. So in the majority of cases, you have to make them wait until they already like you before you have sex with them.
So Tareyak pointed out at the end in his closing argument that isn't necessarily true, that the man would want to know what he's getting into first. Tareyak, is that right? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Fundamentally, but even the case of like, why is a man loving the like, why can't he just like her?
Okay, but so here's my question again to you, Kat. If this is the argument that you're making, why do you understand how a man might feel if he knows that this is a woman who has given it up to guys before, but he's already feeling on this level of, we could potentially be getting married. I want to know what I'm buying into here. So for you to expect me to put a ring on your finger and jump through those hoops to get this, which you've already given to everybody else, isn't that a big ask?
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that it would be good if she wants to get someone to fall in love with her to not lead with sex.
Okay, so what if they fell in love before getting married?
I mean, if they were in love, then I guess. But I'm just saying
so
that.
No, that's all right. That's all right. So we don't need to go further because you kind of proved that you don't really believe in this argument. So if you're going to say, well, if they're in love, then I guess she can give it up and she doesn't need a ring on her finger, I can kind of like blow past the rest of my points that I had here because you're kind of conceding it already. But yeah, I think there was a couple of things that I just want to quickly jump into. When you asked Tareyak, what if the guy is broke? You came to these points where Tareyak kind of conceded to you that a low value woman can end up with a low value guy, that he doesn't see a problem with that if your goal is to just marry them off. He just thinks that those marriages won't last. Tareyak, do you believe that a marriage won't last if it's a low value woman with a high body count, but she's marrying a guy who's roughly of equal value to her? Or do you think that they'll just think we're right for one another and the marriage could potentially last?
Like I said, it purely comes down to like the woman having the high body count or being very sexually promiscuous, because again, the chance of STD, infertility through the abortion and all the drugs that she would have been popping to avoid getting pregnant.
Words.
Sorry, the physical and possible emotional damage that would come for that. It's just so much stuff that's kind of going against your favor. Again, like I said, there are exceptions to the rule, but in terms of the general rule, telling the guy, oh yeah, you should let her wait till marriage. You're basically telling him you should let the woman lead.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing. Now, moving on to what you wanted to talk about a little bit was the debate fallacies, right? So there was a couple of debate fallacies here. Logical fallacies, debate fallacies, or logical traps. Just a couple that I wanted to touch on. I mean, there was quite a few. I don't want to go into all of it now. There was a tiny little hint of going towards some straw manning, but it kind of got shut down pretty quick by both of you, so that's all okay. But let me see if I can remember where it was here. So there was, hang on a second. Sorry, I'm just looking through some notes. You guys were both speaking really quickly, even though you didn't say much. Yeah, so when you were doing the cross-examinations, Kat, you were assuming that based off of what Tareyak was saying, where he said, like, women want a man who leads. That's why the woman can't set these rules and expect the man to follow them. You assumed that if the woman then didn't have this checkered past, that she would somehow be entitled to a position of leadership, that she would be entitled, she would be able to lead. Tareyak, do you remember when that happened?
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, because you kind of shut it down and you said, no, incorrect. That's not what I'm saying. So this is like, you're assuming this kind of either or situation. You think that this is kind of like an exclusionary fallacy. You think that just because you have these two kind of opposing views, that one, if it isn't one thing, it therefore must be the other, right? So when Tareyak was saying that, like, women want men who lead, this is why he can't have a woman who's got this checkered past, because the men are the leaders and they're not going to compromise on certain things. You think that then if the woman meets these standards and the situation is different, that the opposite must be true, that she can be the leader. So that's one fallacy there. The other one was, I think there was one more. Let me just double check here. So if we're going to be talking about these kind of fallacies, hang on a second.
I just wanted to pop bathroom real quick.
Sure,
Yeah,
no worries. I just wanted to see where it was. I think I made one note. Yeah, so Tareyak basically made this argument where he was talking about how the woman is trying to act like she's suddenly a born-again virgin when she's not, and she's still got her past. This is basically one that the whole debate was built upon, that Tareyak couldn't really get past the fact that she has got a past. Now, it's understandable, but there's this one which is called a forever changeless trap, and it's where you assume that just because something was one way, it's going to forever remain that way. And he thinks that just because she was once a promiscuous woman, she's going to forever remain that way, or she's going to forever basically be sleeping around. People change. So at some point, you're going to have to ask, why don't you accept the fact that this woman has changed? And in a relationship, the whole point is you're supposed to build trust. So when he gets back, I just want to ask him one question about that before we move on to the quickfire kind of debate questions.
Damon, do you think I should do the debate again with Kat?
Why? Can we do a different topic?
She doesn't want to do that, but we can kind of link you into the quickfire debate questions.
Yeah, sure, it's no problem.
Okay, so the next one I want to do is we have to randomly get assigned a side. So it's not something you necessarily believe in. It's just random.
Right.
Okay. Should people be fined for having children outside of marriage?
Okay. Hang on a second. I just need to plug my phone in because it's going to die.
Oh, T, it's like you've never left, man.
Yeah, little mascot.
I've seen your bobbing little head on screen for like the last 5 minutes. But
Tareyak. We were talking about logical fallacies. We were talking about the fallacy which is called the...
Oh, my eyes. Go ahead.
So there's one, forever changeless trap. So basically, things aren't going to remain the same, right? Things change. So in this case... in a relationship, you're in a relationship with this person who's got this checkered past, right? So assuming you get into the relationship, why do you assume, or why do you want to kind of consider that she hasn't changed? Why is the focus still remaining on her past? If this is a person who is now wanting to wait for marriage, why don't you respect that?
Oh, yeah, so like I said, it's like part of that is the whole kind of like the emotional connection, all that kind of stuff that she would have to that kind of stuff. But like I said, I listed off the actual physical reasons, which is possible STD, possible infertility due to abortion, drugs, and all that kind of stuff.
So this is a woman that you want to have. this is a woman that you presumably want to have sex with. You don't want to wait until you marry her to have sex. So how can you be worried about the STDs?
It is a factor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like you could get a test. You could do other stuff.
Yeah, of course you can get a test. But what I'm saying is, like, in terms of there's the like, let's say she was born again 3 months ago, and the actual thing hasn't shown up. You know what I mean? It could be a false positive, all that kind of shit. Like, on top of that as well, there's the infertility. You could test for that as well. Then there's other stuff as well. It's like if the promiscuity was filmed, or if there's any OnlyFans or anything like that. That's another thing as well that comes into play too. It's
Okay.
it's all these factors at play, do you know what I mean?
So the only, I mean, I've explained the issues that I have with Kat's side and why I think that Kat's side is wrong. Namely, she kind of like conceded it and gave it up herself. The issue that I have with your side is that with the beliefs that you have, you wouldn't get involved with this woman in the first place, right? If those are the beliefs that you have, you wouldn't engage this woman in a relationship. And the issue of I don't want to wait until sex before marriage with her wouldn't even come up because you wouldn't pick a woman like that. So yeah, I mean, I see flaws on both sides. I do think Tareyak won this. So moving on, we're going to go on to the quick fire rounds. Well, not quick fire, but kind of shorter, rapid debates. I don't see, or I don't know how they could be shorter and quicker than this one, but the next question is going to be, should people be fined for having bastard children? So, what was that the correct question, Kat?
Should people be fined for having children outside of wedlock?
Yeah, bastard children.
And yeah,
Okay.
oh my gosh. And you have to like decide who's going to be for and against between all three of us.
So,
No, I'm on. I won't. I don't need to refine my debating skills. It's fine. I don't need any more of that. I'm on. I'll critique. It's fine.
Okay.
So we are going to put. Let me think.
No, there's this brilliant app
I
called The Random.
I can see Tareyak would no. I'm trying to judge it based on the individuals. I want Tareyak to be the softer one here. Like, no, that's wrong. You can't find them for that. And I want Kat to be the savage. Like, yeah, find them. Find the reprobates. Find the degenerates. So, Kat, you are arguing for yes, find them. Tareyak, you're arguing for no. Let's get the timer out and we will see. So, are you guys both ready to go? Do you want a moment to think about it, or should we dive in?
I'm ready.
Kat, you said you're ready, so we'll go with you. Are you happy with 2 minutes to make an opening argument?
Sure.
Go for it. Starting
Okay.
now.
I think that families are the backbone of society. And when people have children outside of marriage, it leads to more criminals and problems in the world and depression and unsafe children and all sorts of evil things. And that you should consider bringing children into this world before you sleep with someone, and therefore you should consider marrying someone if you would like to sleep with them. And yeah, and that is why I think that if somebody chooses to put society at risk by their own actions of being selfish, they should be fined because they are potentially creating a serial killer or depressed child that needs a lot of support, or someone who's unwanted and whatever, and a single parent out there, and more paperwork for the state. And I think that's enough.
Okay, so that was 1 minute and 15 seconds. So Tareyak, are you ready to go? Same thing, 2 minutes.
Correct. Now or yeah,
Okay,
so,
we will go now.
In terms of marriage, it's important to define what marriage is. So if we're talking about religious marriage, secular marriages aren't recognized. So you'd be in favor of finding all the secularists. And even before the religion, all that stuff, humans and civilization clearly were able to have children and build civilization before marriage was a thing. So in terms of your argument saying that like if just because they have a secular or just because they have a kid, it means that this kid is automatically going to be Hitler or some sort of like evil degenerate is not necessarily the case. Furthermore, as well, fining them only gives the state more money, more power over its people, which further detracts away from the actual family, which was your original argument as well. So you're basically growing the state or giving the state more power, which is always a bad thing in my books as well. So that's pretty much my argument.
Okay, so yeah, that was just under a minute. Those were good, pretty good opening points compared to the first one. Tareyak's first opener was also good, but yeah, I mean, this seemed pretty more kind of. It would have been good if you argued this, I think, to begin with the bigger debate. So I'll give 5 minutes of cross-examination this time. So, Kat, we are starting with you. Cross-examine Tareyak. Go.
Okay, so I am basing.
I plead the fifth.
Oh
Wait,
my
sorry,
God.
go ahead.
So I base my my premise on that single parents do create more degenerates, more serial killers come from single parent homes, single mother homes. Children have more depression, more chances of violence happening to them if they are not in a two-parent household. And the fine will not be enough to even cover all of the problems that they're going to cause the state. And it's not really finding a family, it's finding someone who did not care to plan their family. I'm done.
There a question?
Okay.
Wait, do I have to make questions?
Kat, you're supposed to
Yeah, you
cross-examine
can question.
his position.
Well, you responded. You responded to what he said in his. That's fair enough. But you need to like now cross-examine him as well.
Frida
Okay.
has a question.
Okay. Do you think it is fair for children to pay for the mistakes of their parents?
Well, that's you're basically calling the child a mistake then.
Yes, it is. If it's
Think a
out
child-
of wedlock. What are you talking about?
You think a child is a mistake?
If it's outside of wedlock, it should be before marriage.
Should be, but that doesn't. Again, like there's a lot of loaded or kind of like preloaded stuff here where they're automatically going to be some sort of like criminal or basically like they're a mistake along the lines of that. But I just don't see the like any kind of logic that leads us there in terms of single household, all that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Can I pop in since we're supposed to be learning here?
Yes.
I don't know if Tareyak's doing this deliberately or and Kat isn't realizing it, or if Kat hasn't realized it. But when we were talking earlier on about various kinds of logic traps or fallacies, they're good to use. They can help you win arguments. But I just want to point out here, because this is the first time I've kind of seen this done actively between you two. And you asked the question, Kat. Ask the question again.
Which one?
The one that Tarek's answering now. Do you think it's fair for?
Oh, do you think it's fair for children to pay for their parents' mistakes?
Right. Now, do you remember how Tarek started answering it?
No.
Okay, so a good point in a debate is to listen to what the other person's saying, right?
This is so hard.
If you listen to what the other person's saying, you can argue with them, right? So no, but actually, although I'm making a joke about this is something that happens in debates. Usually, people kind of think ahead to what their next question is going to be, and when you start doing that, when you start thinking up what your next question is going to be, you might miss out what your opponent is actually saying or doing. Right now, what Tareyak started answering was Tareyak said, "Are you saying like?" Well, he didn't say, "Are you saying?" He kind of stated it. He's like, "So you think that the child is a mistake?" Now, was that your question?
Yeah.
No. Well, what? Whose
No.
question?
So
Okay.
So what Tarek's doing here is he's flipping it on you, and he's actually misrepresenting what your question actually was. So your question was, do you think the child should pay for the parents' mistake, right? The mistake wasn't the child. The mistake was the situation, having a child out of wedlock. The mistake was they weren't married and they weren't a couple. The mistake isn't the child. Now he kind of subsumed the argument into something else, and you fell for it, right? So you need to kind of be careful about when somebody else is rephrasing your argument and it's not the argument that you're making.
Think back to when Andrew
Okay.
Wilson keeps saying, "Answer my question, answer my question, answer my question."
Okay, so I
That's
have
how you
to yell
counter
at you.
that.
Okay, answer my question, you little shit. Go.
No need to
No,
be
you need to
rude,
point
Kat.
out. You need to
God.
point out. You need to point out to him that that's not what you're saying, right?
Mhm.
Most of the time, when somebody asks you in a debate, like, "So this is what you're saying?" No, that's not what you're saying. They're trying to reframe what you're saying into something else, and they're trying to misrepresent it or bake something else into it. And he said that straight up to you. He said that you're baking something into it. No, you're not. He's the one doing that. So don't let him do that. You need to kind of be very careful when somebody's trying to repeat your own argument back to you. So yeah, let's go. Let's move ahead. I'm restarting the timer now. 3 minutes 12 to go.
Who's talking?
You're across the
It's a
examination.
cross-examination.
Oh,
Both
yeah,
of
yeah,
you
yeah.
were supposed to
Yeah.
ask.
Okay, answer my question.
What was your question again?
Yeah,
Do you think it's fair for the parents, so for the kid to pay for the mistake of the parents?
yeah.
Do I think it's right for the kid to pay for the mistake of the parents? I don't necessarily think it's a mistake. Again, your whole crux is that somehow having this child is going to break up the marriage, or that the kid will not have two parents active in the relationship with the child. So ergo, you have to prove how the child is paying for being born or being a mistake, as you put it.
Yes, because if they do not grow up in a two-parent household, they are
Who's
more
to say that
likely,
they don't grow up in the two-parent household?
because generally people don't get married after they have children outside of
Don't
marriage.
need to be married. Nothing about marriage. You said two-parent household. That means the father and the mother live in the same house. What
Okay,
happens if
whatever.
the father steps out on the wife, gets pregnant with the one, but moves the woman in?
What is, we're not talking about your degenerate fantasies, okay?
I'm giving you an example of a case where your logic is disproven.
Okay, well, fine. If you want to go back to harems and stuff, women would off the other woman's child for dominance in the family. So if you want to go back to those times,
Does that happen in Muslim households?
yes. Yes.
Then why are they outpopulating Christians in the West? Or,
Because the majority of Muslims don't do these degenerate harem things. They don't do that. You're talking about 1/10% of people.
it's still a case that disproves your logic. Just because a man or a woman
we're
has,
losing track of the back and forth. We're losing track of the cross examination.
I'm related back to her question. Her
Yeah,
premise
yeah.
is that just because the child is out of wedlock, the child is forsaken to be. I'll put it this way: are you a Christian, Kat?
Sure.
Was Jesus not born out of wedlock?
Yeah, so
That disproves your logic.
Whoa.
that doesn't mean all of them. Oh my gosh. Okay, then you want me to name every serial killer? Because they've all been
Hold
born
up.
out of.
Kat, do you have any more questions for Tareyak?
Yeah. Why is he so against marriage?
That's not nothing got to do. What's the relevance here?
Because you just go. Your points are always like, just
My
move
opinion
the
on marriage
horse.
has not been stated in this debate, Kat. All I've given is counter arguments to your own logic. There is a difference.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever. Are you conceding your time here?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay,
Damon,
right.
Damon, you want to give them a
Hold-
demonstration? You and me?
Hold up. First of all, before we move on to Tareyak, Kat, don't let people throw you off your game. You're getting very easily thrown off your game when it comes to how you're structuring questions. Remember that cross-examination is you holding their feet to the flames, right? So another tip when it comes to this part of the debate, when it comes to the cross-examination, you need to, if you're going to hold their feet to the flames, you don't want them to be able to move, right? Nail their feet to the ground so that they can't move. So Tareyak kind of told you there, his point of view on marriage hasn't been established. So you need to get him to stand in one fixed position, nail him there, and then whenever you grill him, he can't squirm around and try to become evasive, right? So whenever it gets to this kind of part of the debate, you don't want them. A lot of people complain about shifting the goalposts. Shifting the goalposts isn't really the big issue. Anyone with any kind of rudimentary debate style can stop somebody from shifting the goalposts. The thing is that you don't want them to be able to shift around. You need to get some principles where you understand where their position lies. And once you've established that and they've given you clear answers on that, you can then grill them and they won't be able to flip flop around and say, well, actually it's this, well, actually it's that. No, you've made your position clear on these things and now I can roast you on it. So with that, Tareyak, we're going to move on to you. You've got 5 minutes to cross-examine. Go for it.
Yeah, so again, like I said, my main question is, why are you saying that just because a child is born out of wedlock that he's automatically a criminal?
Because of statistics showing that children born out of wedlock commit most of the murders. And
is that out of wedlock or is that single parent households?
Single parent households.
So again, what makes you say that being born out of wedlock means the child suffers?
Because they're more likely to be in a single parent household if they're not married.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, not necessarily, but more likely.
Do you have a stat on that?
Do you have a stat on that they're not likely?
I'm not the one asked to prove my case here. Yeah, you're the one who's
I'm just
on
saying,
there.
if I have to,
You're the one who's on the hot seat, Miss.
David,
God.
can you pause the timer? Can you pause the timer?
Okay, time is paused.
Yeah. So, do you guys understand the burden of proof and how it works? Now, I'm not saying this to insult you. I'm just generally, do you understand the burden of proof?
Teachers forces.
Right. So the person making the claim has the burden of proof to show that the claim is correct. They cannot disprove or displace that burden by telling the other side to affirm their negative stance. Which means if Tareyak asks Kat the question, Kat cannot say, can Tareyak prove the opposite? So that's a deflection tactic. When he asks you, can you give a stat for the claim about, what was that, the single mother household, right? Or was it the, yeah. Try and, well, you would have to answer directly to his question. And then the follow-up could be you asking him the question about the two-parent household stat or whatever question you asked him, and then Tareyak answers that question. You cannot answer a question with a question, is what I'm saying. All right, go ahead.
No, wait. Hang on a second. Do you guys understand what you said? I mean, this is more a legal thing rather than a debate thing. But
No, but it works in debate. The burden of proof works.
Yeah. There's ways around it. It's not as strictly adhered to in debate. There's ways you can try and get around it, but there does need to be. Well, somebody can pick up on it if you're doing it, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if neither one of you is going to question it or bring it up, then I guess it's not an issue, but it's something that one of you could use to try and put the pressure back. Yeah, it's just that if you're making certain claims, you need to be able to back it up yourself, right? This can lead into other logical fallacies like or other debate
Argument
fallacies.
from assertion.
Okay,
Argument for assertion,
I got
argument from
stats.
authority. Okay. But it can also go into the whole. Okay, we'll come back to that later. Let me just restart the timer.
David, should we play out how it would have gone if she tried that with me?
No.
Oh
Let
my
them go. Let them go. We are counting down. We've got 4 minutes.
Just saying, we have 25 minutes left before I need to head off.
Yeah, 4 minutes to go on this. Let's go.
So again, Kat, like I said, like I need some sort of like solid case here of why a child is automatically going to suffer just because they're born out of wedlock.
All
By
right, here we
quoting
go.
single parent households.
Here we go. The percentage of births to unmarried women of all ages are 41%. So like they will be single, right? So like roughly, let's say half. Okay, so half will not have a main
No,
house.
no, my petit
What?
chéri.
What?
60% compared to 40% is 50% more, which means, like I said, we're talking about generalities, which you just proved my case.
No, you didn't.
you.
No.
Yes, you did. You said the majority of women. What quote side 40% were what?
40%.
Of women who give birth outside of wedlock end up single mothers. That means
Yeah.
60% don't.
But it's still half.
40% is not half, Kat.
Oh,
It's very close.
It's not.
Let's round it up, all right?
60% is 50% more or 40%.
Okay, whatever.
Tareyak, any more questions?
I rest my case, Senator.
God.
I rest my case, boys.
This is some
Okay.
bullcrap.
Okay. So I'm gonna stop it there. I'm gonna stop it there. How do you think he did that time? Kat, starting with you.
Look, this is difficult when you don't prepare.
It is difficult. But look, you learn from mistakes. You did a much better
100%.
opener there. You did a much better opener there. So like look, debates are full of traps, right? Debates are full of traps and missed opportunities. Every time you come out of one, if you reflect on that stuff, you'll be more equipped or you'll be more confident heading into the next one. Tareyak, how do you think he did?
I'm going to level 100%. Like I said, like I intentionally kind of went at that from the very beginning that Damon called. I went for the emotional arguments, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge, and then I threw it back on her, prove your case, and then, like I said, it was basically just kind of like trying to throw as much traps as possible.
Cool. Yeah, hold the feet to the flames, nail them down, make them kind of state a point, make them state their position on it. Find out how they feel about it, why they feel about it the way they do. But you need to get them to explain something to you so that you know where they stand. Once you know where they stand, you can go for the legs you can attack. You attack the foundations of their argument. But if you don't know where they stand or why they believe what they believe or how exactly they believe it to be the case, then you can't attack it. You need to be able to attack the structure of the argument. So you need to know what position they're attacking from. So this is what your cross-examination is for, Kat, to find out how or why they determine what it is that they believe. If you can't see it, if they haven't given that up to you, like Tareyak said earlier, when he said, I haven't made my position clear on this, if you don't know how they feel about it, all you're doing is assuming, right? So that needs to be stated from the start. That's what you need to expose with your questioning. Cool. Next one, Kat. Which one are we doing next? I'll pick if you don't want to.
Dude, Damon, let me take on the next one.
No. At the moment, Tareyak's got a limited amount of time, so I want us to use Tareyak while we've got him.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Okay, so how do you guys feel about should you be able to sue the person your partner cheated on you with?
Yeah.
This is an interesting one. Actually, no, sorry. I want to go for another one. Should we have a worldwide relationship database where listen carefully to this because this is insane. Should we? This is like if the Nazis got involved with dating sites. Should we have
poison the well?
Should we have a worldwide relationship database where everyone has to enter their relationships and both sides get to make comments and say why they broke up? Right? Do you both understand the question? Tareyak, do you understand that madness?
Yep.
Okay. So in this one, Tareyak, you are arguing for this. We need to have this worldwide relationship database. You look unhappy.
And you poison the well as well. Like, this is literally like, okay, Tareyak, bench your fucking 100 kilograms. Like, what the fuck?
So yeah, so Tareyak, you're arguing for the case that we have this worldwide relationship database where everyone has to enter their relationships and both sides get to comment and say why they broke up, right? Now, there's a lot that you can unpack this many different ways. There's a lot to think about this with. You can think outside the box. Do you guys want some time to kind of think some ideas through?
Cat go first, though, so I have like a chance.
Kat, you want Kat to go first?
Yeah.
Did you say?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Kat,
yeah.
do you want some time? Do you want some time to think about this?
I mean, I probably should because I don't.
Okay, Kat, you take some time to think about this. Tareyak, you take some time to think about this.
Well, Cat, are you in favor?
See? So, Kat,
No, I'm
no,
against.
Kat's,
Oh, okay,
Kat's
okay.
arguing against this, Tareyak. You're the one who wants
No, but I
this.
meant like, is she actually like in favor and like in terms of like her actual opinion about it?
Oh, yeah, actually,
I'm
that's a good
open.
question. What is your actual opinion on this?
I'm open. I just think it's interesting. Like, I don't care.
You mental case. Okay, Tareyak, how do you feel about this?
I'm completely against it.
Completely against it, like any sane person. Even though you look like a nutter, you are normal.
Poster boy of the clan.
So while you guys are thinking about it, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. You guys can go a bit quiet if you want. Turn your cameras off if you want, and kind of. I'll give you a 5-minute timer here just to plan a little bit of a strategy before we go into this one, so we're not going in cold. And in the meantime, I will speak with Alex, the lawyer. Alex, what do you think about debate night so far?
Bro, I came in for like 5 minutes, man. Jesus Christ. No, it's good. It's good. I'm glad that she's trying to get better at debating. It's fine.
Wait a
these things
second,
take time,
Kat.
yeah.
Take time. Take your time, Kat. Think
Okay,
about
okay,
this.
okay.
You've got 5 minutes. You can set your own timer. Pop your headphones out if you want to think about it quietly while we talk. Yeah. So Alex, you're saying about this complete shit show. She's still
Dude, come on,
listening.
man.
She was
Don't be
laughing.
too tough.
She's laughing.
Dude,
No,
don't be
I
too
said
tough
this
on
to see
them,
if she was going to
man.
respond. No. I'm not being tough. I said that just to see if it was going to provoke a response. They're listening to us. They should be listening. They should be focusing on structuring an argument. But okay, yes, no, it's good. This is good. Everyone has to start somewhere, and you learn by making mistakes. Mistakes are teaching opportunities, and this is good. Yeah.
Bro,
So
dude, that's what I said. Like, she should really just, if she really wants to learn, just take on either me or you, so that she can
Well, look,
really
no.
see how the mistakes are punished in real time.
I think that watching debates is a good thing. You don't have to jump in on your own. Watch a debate because you're going to often find questions that you think that you would have asked, or you would have had answers that that the other person didn't give that might have worked better. There's a lot of ways
No,
around
but
it.
I'm saying like the best way for her and Tareyak to learn is to actually go for one of us if we're trying to teach them, so
Well,
that he can see
Tarek's
how.
jumped in on Speakeasy's verbal combat.
Oh, maybe just Cat then.
Shout out to Speakeasy. I
Yeah,
was on a
man.
show with him the other day.
Absolute
I wanted to
G.
talk to him, but I had some weird mic issues, so my mic cut out. I didn't have an opportunity to speak to the guy, so I'd like to at some point. But yeah, his debate panel show, it's a bit different. It's a different kind of thing, but it's entertaining as hell. It looks fun. It's not. I mean, I don't want to say it's not debate because it kind of is, but it's done in a.
It's a different
The
kind
win is
of cross
determined by
debating.
kind of like, yeah, and it's not really, somebody isn't really kind of evaluating the win or the loss. It's just a popularity contest, but still it's fun anyway, and it's a good opportunity and it's fun to watch. But I think, how much time have we got? I think it's about 2 minutes. Like, I kind of didn't set a proper timer, but I'll give it another 2 minutes before we call it. Yeah. So I think we're going to go into this. We'll probably make this the last one because we don't want to cut Tareyak short. he's got his other thing to jump into afterwards. So,
And then
let's
I
see.
can take on Cat. Please let me take on Cat. I really need some blood sport tonight, man. I need it. Like that special white powder.
DK's on tonight
Oh, is it?
in a couple of hours. Yeah,
Oh. Yeah, but that's not really debate, bro. Like we were saying, it's
we
not.
should join, man. It's just like you
Dude,
said,
I
just
can't
for
do cross panels, man. It's just gonna be people talking over people talking over
How
people.
how no
Man.
to be fair, from what I've seen, what's his name? Yeah, from what I've seen on Verbal Combat, like Speakeasy does kind of shut down when other people speak. He lets them talk, and the others kind of shut out of it, I think. So
What are the topics? What are the topics?
He just
I
posted
don't
there
know.
in his Discord.
Okay, I'll check it out. Dude, it's 7 a.m. here, bro. I don't know how much longer I can go on. Came on because I promised Cat that I'd come on.
Dude, I've just come off an 18-hour shift,
It's fine.
and I only slept 4.5 hours last night, so I understand you. I am screwed. Anyway, we
I
are
posted
getting
it
down.
in
Mr.
the private.
Hardman.
Final 30 seconds. Final 30 seconds. Alex, who do you think is going to win this? Call it now. Bets.
Tareyak.
Well, here's what we come
For
down
it.
to. Here's what we come
No.
down
You
to.
see, dude, she a position, but
Well, yeah, no, here's what we come down to how the position matters, right? So you've got a good opportunity here where I'm not earlier on I said to Kat, it depends on are you arguing from a position of truth. Now I'm not saying either side of this has like truth, but there is a certain element of justice or ethics to it. So this is in Kat's favor. Let's see if she plays it wisely. All she has to do is, and I hope Tareyak takes it seriously because you have to argue the position as if you genuinely believe it. So here we go. Are you both ready?
Mm-hmm.
Tareyak, you said that because your position is, let's just say, complete duty,
Hit.
that you want Kat to go first. So, Kat, are you happy to go first?
Sure.
Okay, so we are going to give this 3 minutes opening statement. Are you happy with that, or do you think you need more?
I don't need more.
Okay. Please don't make it 30 seconds.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, so opening statement, 3 minutes. We are starting now.
Okay. We should not have a worldwide relationship database where everyone has to enter their relationships and both sides get to make comments on why they broke up. Because one, people will lie. People will try to hide relationships and not add them to the database. And then if somebody feels wrong at the end of the relationship, they might try to retroactively add it and then say something horrible, whether or not it's true. And then people might have fears of dating people and might end up prolonging relationships, which could lead to people getting married older and not being able to have families. And it could scare some people so much that they avoid getting into relationships altogether and become super paranoid. And it could just lead to a lot of people who are very maybe narcissistic taking out their mental health problems on their exes by destroying them on this database, rendering someone who is innocent now undateable in the future. And also, it is very invasive to have this type of system in place because it is too easy without due process for someone to lie about them. And this could also affect their job outlooks because if somebody cheats, let's say in a relationship, or somebody claims they did, they might be seen as a cheater and not trustworthy for jobs in the future. And people might also not trust them in general. In communities, they might not like get housing and stuff because of that. They might not get loans because of that, and it can just spiral out of control to where we're in a really bad police state that is based on this database that is highly subjective by people who break up a lot, so probably the most mentally unstable in our society. The end.
Okay. Right. So that was a lot better because not only because of the structure, you made some clear points. You got all your thoughts out. Great. You used up a lot of your time compared to previously. You only had about 40 seconds left there. So that's really good. Tareyak, sorry, before I go on to Tareyak, I've just been looking at some of the comments. I just popped in because I had a bit of an opportunity. I think somebody said, I think it was Ghost, saying that Kat and Tareyak should debate the moderator. In the future, maybe when Tarik's got time to stick around, we can do that. But just if I can give a little plug, Tareyak and I are actually doing a debate on Sunday. That will be, I think, Tareyak, did we say 6 p.m. UK time?
I think so.
Yeah, 6 p.m. GMT. So that would be, I'm not sure.
1 p.m.
but yeah,
Miami time or East Coast.
Yeah, 1 p.m. East Coast time. So yeah, that's going to be on Sunday. And the debate will be with regards to, do women bring equal value to a relationship as men do? Interesting topic. Tareyak has some strong thoughts. So it will be fun. It'll be fun. We're doing that on Sunday, 1 p.m. EST, right? So, and that will be on, who's actually doing that? Is that VO Pod?
VO Pod, yeah.
Jake's channel, bro.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to be clear. Cool. So, Tareyak, you have 3 minutes to counter what Kat said, starting now.
We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. So essentially, my argument comes down to security. Essentially, with this system, you'd have STDs, you'd have pregnancies, you'd be able to weed out the creeps, be able to weed out rapists, all that kind of stuff, any impropriety in relationships. Basically, it would give women more of an incentive to act right, as well as men as well, because there's a lot of creepy men out there too. And it would also give you a chance to improve your social skills. Now, Kat also made the comments in terms of like people lying and all this stuff, but this can all be done through verification processes and community notes, essentially. Again, like Kat was saying, in terms of like fear of losing your job and all this stuff, but if you act like a moral human being, you have nothing to fear. Aren't I right, folks? I'd like to close my statement on the words of Jesus Christ, if you will, just to piss Glenn off as much as I can. Jesus once said, "The way, the truth, the life," and a mass system that would show basically the mass transparency would be mass truthful, and we should all want truth. Am I right, boys? With that, I can see the rest of my time.
Okay, so yeah, so here's the thing. Interesting to note that Tareyak only used 1:10 of his time. So the majority, 1:50, was not used. This is what happens when you do have to argue a position that you don't really agree with. There's interesting ways that you can try and flip arguments if you want to think about them, even if they're ones that you don't agree with. You can try and argue somewhat disingenuously by using certain logic traps. But to be fair to Tareyak, you'd need probably a bit more time than what we gave them to do that in. So we shall move on to the cross-examination. Tareyak could pull it back here. What do you think, Mr. Fortress?
Oh,
great. Love your input, dude. Now, we are going to give it... No, it's done now. You've hurt me. So we are going to...
Wait, can't trust the CCP.
I know, Jesus Christ. Just think about this. His whole family tunneled their way out of North Korea, and to bring him to us today, and this is what he gives. He just misses his moment in the sun. Anyway,
bro,
Fortress, you let down your parents. You let down the fucking cat. But most importantly, you let
Hey,
down the
hey,
fans, Fortress.
what I can say
Yes.
about Asian households is
You
that we have
left out the.
higher
Sorry, what was
two-parent
that?
household rate than white people, man. So take the
Hey,
L, bro.
I'm not ashamed of my whiteness.
You should be. You're fucking racist.
I'm a
You
white guy.
so-called
I'm ready to
racist.
kill.
Cat.
I'm a white guy.
We're
And
gonna
I'm ready to
move on
kill.
Cat. We're moving on to Cat for the cross-examination, but first, Teriyak's right. Yes, Fortress, you're a great disappointment to your family.
I'll
5
shit
minutes
on your face.
cross-examination. Great cross-examination. This is a YouTube-friendly video, you piece of shit. Cat, you have 5 minutes. Let's go.
Okay, so having a database like this would mean that there would be no medical, what's it called, like HIPAA laws. So there would be no medical privacy, because if your medical history is out there, then like everybody would know it. And if somebody has, let's say they have an SA, then and they get some sort of STDs, then they would be publicly punished and shamed for something that they did not have control of. Same as with women, and some men perhaps, I guess, now having power over other people to give them SA allegations, which do not include any due process. So this could turn into a very horrible revenge website. So just because it would be nice to know these things is not reason enough to have all of these possible problems with such a system in place. And let's see what else. And people will lie whether or not there's any checks, because there's no checks that you can do to stop someone
Sorry,
from
guys.
lying. What?
I just need to come in to moderate a little bit. Kat,
Okay.
you kind of responded. You did respond to what Tareyak said with the opening part there.
Where's my
But
question?
now just remember, yeah, exactly. It's cross-examination. So jump into putting him on the hot seat now. You're asking him questions. Remember, you've got the good position in the argument here. You can really kind of hold him to task here with this, right? So
Okay.
you addressed what he complained about, or no, you addressed what he said with his opening statement, the critiques that he made, but now kind of try and, put the screws on. Okay.
Okay.
So you've got 3 minutes, 30 seconds left. We are
Okay.
going to continue now.
Okay. So can you say that women do not lie about their exes ever? Can you make that claim?
People lie all the time, but we have sophisticated systems in place with social media to reduce lying. Like I said, in terms of community notes on X, we have moderators that are in chat as well. Shout out to the moderators in chat. So there are ways to verify the process, and even in terms of, we could say the same thing with our core system. There are women who will lie. Just because there's women who's lied, does that mean that we shouldn't do law?
Yes. It should.
So we shouldn't do law?
Well, this is not a law. This is a database.
But your whole logical position is that we can't have this because women lie. And I say, well, women lie, does that mean we don't have law?
Debate strategy here, Kat. When he asks you a question, this is my time to question you. Okay?
Oh.
Don't let him eat into your time on your cross-examination. Okay, let's go. Continue. Karen asking another question now.
Okay. How can you, without putting people through unnecessary hardships and due process, guarantee that there will be no lies on the database?
Well, we could sync with the judicial system.
Okay, but wouldn't that involve due process and a strain on other resources that could be used elsewhere?
All cases are publicly available.
Okay, but wouldn't this be unnecessary hardship for someone to have to, after the end of every relationship, go to court to fight what their relationship, what actually happened?
You mean
Every
like
single
divorce court?
person on Earth would have to go through this. Isn't that a little bit
Like-
unreasonable?
Like divorce court?
Yes, but not every single person is getting a divorce in every moment. So wouldn't you say
Oh, if
there's
it-
more
if-
people in relationships than going through divorce?
But if it's just a relationship, then there's no assets that need to be split or nothing like that. In terms of the whole kind of system, it's just like you'd have on social media with X and Y are in a relationship, as you see on Facebook.
Okay, let's see. Okay, do you think that this database would scare people from having relationships and lead to a lower population?
Well, to exercise your point earlier on, you want more marriages, you want less relationships, more marriages, correct? So this would incentivize less promiscuity, correct?
Yes, but do you think that this might scare people to not even getting into relationships because they fear allegations that could destroy their life and ability to sustain a living?
Any relationship could technically destroy your life.
Oh my gosh.
False
All right.
allegations don't exist just because of the database.
Okay. Let's see. Would this lead to an unnecessary increase in false allegations and undue stress to people?
Repeat the question again.
Would this lead to too many unnecessary allegations and undue stress towards the population?
Not if the reporting system is done in a private matter before everything is worked out.
Do you have any?
Okay, that's 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes.
Okay,
That's
okay.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Look, before we move on to Tarek's cross-examination, let's have a look at some of the stuff that popped up here. Right. So,
by the way, just to let you know, I can keep going until like the tag comes out, kind of thing. So like basically, we can kind of keep
Okay.
running over if you get me.
cool. So the thing is that you had the very apparent, like, ethically probably more favorable position. So if I ask you right now, Kat, what do you think is the main problem with Tereyak's position? What he's arguing for, this database, this global database, why do you think that would be bad? If I was to ask you just right now, why do you think that would be a bad thing?
I think 1948 Big Brother.
Yeah, because it would
Or 1984, sorry.
Yeah, it would basically be like a social credit score, so people would be fake and afraid of each other, and it would just lead to misery.
Right. Okay. So why didn't you argue it from that kind of point of view? You were asking some questions that kind of touched on that, but the moment he was giving you an answer, you were kind of playing a game of whack-a-mole. You were looking for something else to try and hit him with. This is the kind of argument where there's one thing that's just so absolutely awful and evil that you just need to keep hitting it like a battering ram. And if he gives you an answer that kind of defeats you, you press it. You press it again with a different strategy, but you keep attacking the same weak point because that weak point it has is a massive one. Okay? It's incredibly unethical. People can lie. And when he keeps telling you, we've got these kind of credit notes. And the big thing, I had to try hard not to laugh. Social media's got really sophisticated ways of verifying bullshit it does. Community notes.
He's
I mean,
good.
Jesus
That
Christ.
boy's good.
Like, you're gonna go for community. You trust community notes. I would sooner dip my privates in
Okay.
a tank full of piranha fish. Like this, there's no way that you can. So if they say something like that, don't accept it. Never accept the first argument and kind of like move on. What you're trying to do is you're trying to look for different approaches every single time, and it's hard to find an approach to an argument. So when you've got one and somebody throws a roadblock at you, it's a speed bump. Think of it as a speed bump, not as a wall that you can't get past. And if you do think of it as a wall, just to keep breaking it down. If you've got one good avenue of approach to using this kind of a debate strategy, don't abandon it. Just keep digging away at it. Eventually you'll chip away at it. Like, so whatever answer he gives you, think to yourself, like, am I really going to accept that? The other thing is, try to think about how you present yourself and how you speak, right? Because if you're debating somebody and every time they give you an answer, even if it's a bullshit one, if you say okay, it looks like you're accepting it. Never accept it. Don't say okay. Because you say that a lot. You say okay, and then that means that anyone listening to you thinks like you agree that his point was good. It wasn't good. So don't agree with it. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Don't say okay. Like,
just
right,
that, like,
okay.
don't be afraid to keep battering the fucking hammer at them and just keep to, no, you
Yes.
didn't answer my question. Like, don't be afraid to like be like aggressive. I know we're mates all shit, but like, just don't be afraid to like shut the fuck up, Blondie. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Cool.
This thing's starting as well. But like I said, pleasure having me on, Kat, and everyone else in chat, W Moz,
Bye,
W
T.
Damon.
See ya.
Fuck you, Fortress.
Cool.
No, I love you, Fortress. But yeah, like I said, thanks for having me on.
Right. Thank you, Tareyak. You take care.
I will do.
Bro.
Take it easy.
Bye.
See ya.
All right. So, what have we learned today? I cannot debate. Cheers.
You're starting.
You're learning,
it's
you're
all good.
learning. Relax. Dude, I was being half facetious when I said that you were bad. Like, this is meant for someone who's never debated properly before. It's fine. Give it about and then if you're still shit, then I'll say you're shit.
Okay. So, why don't you guys, do you have any time or you have to leave?
It's getting pretty late. I think where Alex is and where I am, it's 1 o'clock nearly. No, sorry, it's 12 o'clock where I am. But we can talk about a couple of things. There was a couple of things that I think next time would probably be better for us to get into the whole logical fallacies.
Yes.
And Andrew, how do you think this went?
What? No.
Andrew, what am I saying Andrew for? I saw the name Andrew. Alex. Sorry, Alex.
Bro, you did not.
I know. No, I saw the name pop up, and I was saying it, but sorry. Jeez.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about how you think that went. Both
Dude,
sides.
I told you, like, I told. I mean, I would give it to T, just the fact that he already had a losing position. I didn't pick up on a lot of the points. I wanted to say something when he talking about the community notes, man. I really wanted to say something.
Yeah.
The
So here's
community
the
notes are
thing.
written by
If
who?
you,
The community.
yeah, there's different ways. I would actually give this last one to Kat. Okay. Now, okay, the debate wasn't completed, but from what we heard so far, like I said before, when it comes to scoring debates, just because one guy looks more confident, the other person looks more nervous, you still need to judge it based on the criteria of what's been presented. You can have, and I'm not saying that this was Tareyak because he's not. Tareyak did the best that he could with a very bad position, but his style is good. He does the whole thing of looking relaxed, sitting back in the chair. The body language is important. If you look relaxed and like things don't phase you, people, if you are judging based on popular vote, people can give it to you. They could be like, well, that guy was chill. He didn't look like he was getting grilled. He looked super confident. But if it's going to be like a judge or a panel that's judging the person, those judges are going to have certain things they're going to look for. And if the content or the info that you're delivering is very obviously not true, and there's nothing really to back it up, there's no actual proof, just because your style or the way you're delivering it is good, it's not going to win you the points. So I think that Kat, although she maybe didn't have the confidence or like the delivery wasn't there, what she was saying, and it's not. I'm not saying that she wins simply by virtue of her position, but what she presented, especially the opener there, I think cinched it. So I'll give that last one to Kat. So yeah. You're getting better. Your opener there was really good. Try to maximize the time that you have. I don't want to sound mean, but were you reading other people's questions there? You're silent.
Oh, come on, bro.
Oh, sorry. What?
You
Wait.
thought
What other questions? What other people's questions? What do you mean?
Right. So
in the
okay.
comments.
Oh,
No. I'm not saying necessarily in the comments, but I know that Kat did some research to get these questions. So
oh no, I did
these
not
debate
research.
questions.
Obviously,
Oh,
No,
I
but
did not
okay,
do
'cause
research.
okay, because when you were asking Tareyak some of the questions, it looks like you were asking some questions that maybe were like pre-formulated questions that weren't yours. So
No,
that's why
I
I was
wrote
asking.
them down.
Okay, so you wrote them down. Okay, so that's cool. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's cool then. If they were your questions, if you wrote them in advance, that's cool. That's prep, that's fine. Like I said, though, the only tip that I'll give you is the one I said before. Listen to the answers that the person's giving you. If the person's making an opening statement, listen to it, build off of that. Try to react in the moment when you're in the debate. If you react in the moment when you're in the debate, then you're gonna build more of that confidence. You'll mess up at the start. It's normal to mess up at the start, but if you have fixed questions, you risk not listening to what the person is saying or the answers the person's giving you, and you're just preparing for that next question. When if the question is a successful one and they don't give a good answer, you can pick away at them. You've exposed the chink in the armor. You can pick away at it. You can do more damage rather than simply jump into the next question and abandon it. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, good, nice. Kat, what time do you have to be off? How much more time have you got?
It's early here. I don't have any constraints. Oh, actually, like 3 hours, 2 hours.
Oh, God, I cannot go that far.
No.
Fortress, did you say it's 2 o'clock where you are?
no, it's 7 a.m., bro. I can keep going.
7?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Jesus.
It's like I can.
I've got
Fine,
probably
man.
a
I'm a
little
night
bit
owl.
more time that I could do.
Yeah.
So I think it's better if we probably leave if we leave the logical fallacies and traps and stuff like that for another time. But if we do you want to do a debate with Alex?
Sure. Oh, with a lawyer?
Yeah. Why not?
With
Why
a
not?
lawyer.
Why not?
Okay, go.
Okay, so question. Let me just look through the questions.
Or just make
I
up
will-
something.
I will pick one. I will pick one from yours. Right. Okay. So here we are. Right. Should we allow Pride Month to be
What?
celebrated?
No. I'm not trying to get canceled. No, none of that. No.
So we're not allowed to
alphabets.
speak about that?
Nope. No alphabets. No.
Well, so hang on a second. YouTube will strike you for that?
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, YouTube, for proving that there is indeed an agenda going on for
Of
these people because
course.
you're defending them.
Okay.
So if you can't question or criticize, that means that you're
Nope.
giving special treatments. So
Yeah.
fuck you, YouTube. Let's move on. Hang on a second.
Do the abortion illegal one.
Do the what one?
Do the should we make abortion illegal? I'll happily take the yes. I will happily take the first. I'll give her the easier position. I'll give her my position.
You will take the what position?
I'll take the affirmative. I'll take the weaker position.
To make it legal or illegal?
Should we make a sorry. I'll take the antagonistic. Sorry. Should we make abortion illegal? She can take I'll take the negative.
Hang on, I'm missing the opening part of the word you're saying.
She
Illegal
can
or
take the
legal?
affirmative. I'll take the negative.
Yes, but are you saying illegal or legal?
Okay. Whoa. Let's not do something on deletions. It's a little bit
Fine.
much.
Hang
Okay.
on a second. Let me look.
Safe.
God, I can't have any fun.
No, absolutely no fun.
So, should we make paternity testing mandatory? Should we make STD testing mandatory? Oh, apparently, John, should you be able to sue some cheating? Okay. Should you be
Dude, let's
able to sue
do a
somebody?
fun one. Like,
Should you be able to sue somebody for cheating? Actually, Alex is a lawyer, so that's.
Ooh, that's nice. Do that one.
You want to do that one with a
bro,
lawyer?
that's gonna be so unfair on her.
Why?
It's gonna be so unfair for her, bro.
Well,
Okay,
don't
fine,
use
fine.
lawyer terms.
Okay, fine. I'll try. Then should we be allowed to sue?
Yeah, like if it's morally justified or whatever.
Wait. Let's look here.
Sue the...
Hang on a second. I'm just trying to figure this one out. How do you guys feel about this one? Should you be able to sue the person your partner cheated on you with? I will pick this question.
Okay.
This is what you're debating. Listen carefully, Alex. Should you be able to sue the person your partner cheated on you with? And Alex, you are going to argue for yes, you should be able to sue that person. Okay?
You sure? Okay.
Yes, because you should lose that.
Huh.
You should lose that.
I won't.
That's a
this.
shitty position. That's a shitty position. Kat, if you think carefully, you've got a silver bullet here. You can win this debate, right? Should you be able to sue the person your partner cheated on you with? Kat, think about it. You are arguing that no, you shouldn't be able to sue that person. It's a very easy win if you think about it carefully, right? You just need to be able to structure a good opening argument and give it, give them a couple of tough questions. Don't let up on them. So I'm just going to look through the comments quickly. No law one. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Project Geopod. No law ones. We're not going to try and let Alex have this, but I chose this particular law one because I've given Alex a really terrible position. Cody is King is saying, oh, that you caught them with. Yeah, if you caught the person that's cheating on, that your partner is cheating on you with, that's the person. Can you or can you not sue them? Cody is King also said emotional damage and trauma. Alex, can we having a perfect North Korean voice? Emotional damage. Can we hear one, please? Say it.
Okay. First of all, it's not North Korean, it's Chinese.
North Korean, go for it.
Emotional damage.
There you go.
I'm gonna get cancelled. So I'm sorry. It's fine. I'll let Kat go first since you're so confident that she's gonna win.
No. I'll let you go first because we're giving Kat the advantage here.
Fine.
Dude, you're a lawyer, okay? If you can't win this,
but like I want to see. Okay, fine.
If you can't win this, no more.
You just said I couldn't.
No,
what are you talking about?
If you don't win this, then no more respect from your family.
You just said I couldn't.
Right. Okay. So,
how long do I have?
Quickly, before we move on to the main one, we have a very important, very, very serious debate question here by Believe in Yourself. Antiperspirant versus deodorant.
Dio,
Go.
man.
Who? You think Dio, right? What one do you think, Kat?
Neither. Magnesium oil.
Oh, fuck, hippie shit. Sorry. Believe in Yourself, I'm sorry that they gave you such a bad, disappointing answer. Sweat is what makes you stink. Get rid of the sweat. Don't use deodorant. Deodorant stinks like crap. Get yourself a good cologne if you're a man. A proper good cologne, something nice, something that says something about you. Penhaligon's, fantastic company. Proper good
You see,
smells.
bro, the fact that you know about this, right? It's a very feminine thing, you know, which might make other people possibly speculate that you may
Feminine
be a
thing.
bit.
Check out Penhaligon's. When you get to London, I'll take you there. This is proper actual sartorial shit for men. Men cologne. Okay.
Why are you
Cologne for a
gay?
guy.
It's okay.
Right. Okay. Now, let's have a look. Let's have a look at how this is going to go. We will give chance for opening statements. Are you guys prepared? Are you guys ready to go? Kat, did you prepare? Yes or no?
You can go anytime,
Oh,
bro.
yeah. Sure.
You're prepared. Okay. Look. So, do you want to do the opening statement first, or should Alex do it?
The lawyer.
The lawyer.
Why?
Okay.
I don't
um,
ever do prosecution, man. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. So, Alex, I am going to give you. Is 3 minutes fair for an opening statement?
I don't base it on time. I'll just stop when I stop. Yeah. I didn't have
Well,
enough
I'll
time to.
stop you when you
I don't
reach
have
3
time to.
minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah. That's fine.
Cool. 3 minutes starting now.
Yeah. Okay. So this argument is very, very simple. There's already precedent for it. It's called alienation laws, and these laws are still in place till today. Alienation, which is based on the tort of interference, the justification of which is backed by interference with a perceived relationship between two parties, which is what marriage is. Since there is already precedent for it, I don't really need any other argument. Done.
You done?
Yep.
Okay. Cat celebrating.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that was he used 40 seconds to open with that. Cat, you've
Okay.
got a lot that you can play with there.
Okay.
So remember what the question is?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm gonna ask, because I'm gonna be good faith about this. Alex, would you be happy if I give Kat a little bit of coaching?
No.
No.
Some
Okay,
advice.
I have to learn. I have to learn.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. It's fine.
Just because we're going to use this, look, we all acknowledge that Alex was in a bad position here, right? It was a nasty question.
Yeah, why do you
and
want
it
to
was a
handicap
pretty.
me, man?
Yeah.
No, I needed to handicap you because you're a lawyer, okay? So,
Fine.
what? Why are you getting upset, dude? This is
No,
an exercise.
fine.
This isn't
Fine.
this isn't
Let
a
it go
fight.
ahead.
It's an exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
still
Cool.
want to win, man.
I know you still
Let
want to
him.
win, but this is why I gave you a difficult position, right? So Kat, what we were speaking about earlier with regards to how people like to reframe stuff or misrepresent things, right? Look at the question. It was a should question. Should you be able to sue the person that your partner cheated on you with? Yes or no? He argued it from what's already established in law. Okay. We're not arguing about what is, we're arguing about what ought to be. Okay. So the question is a should question. So just because there's legal precedent set, that doesn't mean shit with regards to this. Okay. So I'm not sure if Alex did this knowingly or not, but the way he just came out and laid all of that out in about 40 seconds and then kind of ceded the rest of his time could have been a power play move. It could have been like, I know that I'm arguing a shitty position, so I'm going to sacrifice the bulk of my time as a gamble to make people think like this is open and shut. You can't even argue this. And that's going to kill a lot of confidence in you. So just remember what the question is. That's the tip there. And remember you're arguing a should thing. Right?
Shall I give her my strategy?
No.
Sh-
What is the point?
so you know what I'm trying to do.
No.
Okay, go for it, Alex. No. He's telling you. No, he's not telling you what your strategy
Okay.
should be. He's telling you what his strategy is. Okay. So he's not giving you
Yeah.
advice on what you should
So
do. He's
just so
telling
you
you
know,
what he's doing. Go for it, Alex. Yeah, it'll be useful to know.
just so you know, I did it on purpose. Yeah, I conflated. It looks like the odd and is claim because I want you to spend the bulk of your cross asking me why the odd claim should be the is claim from my position. I'm going to have you
Mhm.
wasting time during your cross examination.
Okay.
Okay. So now, now, Kat, before you go ahead, one other tip I'll give you is actually before you actually no, this will not be. I was going to say before you tell us what your thing is, just give us a clue as to some of the questions that you were asking yourself here. But I don't want to do that because you're going to do your opener regardless. All I'm going to say is just think about how unethical this would be, right? So if I'm going to ask you now, before you do your opener, why do you think it would be unethical to be able to sue the person that your partner cheated on you with? Why do you think that'd be unethical?
Because they might not know they're in a relationship.
Exactly. Right? You might the
No.
partner might present themselves as being single.
Yeah.
So if it's not your job when you get involved in a relationship to do a whole background check and make sure that this person isn't married. So that person could have done something that's completely ethical in their eyes, right? They have no clue that this person's got a partner or a family or whatever, right? So that's one of the major reasons why this is unethical. And there's no burden of responsibility on anyone getting involved in a relationship to make sure that you've got you don't have a second wife or you don't have like some secret life somewhere that you're hiding. The burden is on the person who's married to be loyal, not on the person who isn't married to go around proving that they're not married. So that's cool. That's cool. You've already got the right idea.
Let her carry
We're
on.
gonna go into
Let her do her opening.
yeah, we're gonna go into
You're
the
overloading
opening
her.
statement for Kat now. No, I'm not overloading her. She already knows that, so she knows what's unethical about it.
Okay.
Anytime you argue these kind of questions that are about oughts, you've got to think about if it's just, if it's ethically sound, and we're gonna go from there. So 3 minutes for Kat, going now.
Okay. Just because there's legal precedence in the past for it doesn't mean that it is a valid law. And the relationship, the person who is cheating on the relationship has the responsibility, not the person who they are cheating with, because they could have been lied to. They might not have known about it. They're not the ones who are engaging in any sort of affair or nefarious activity. And it could allow for, frivolous types of cases to be made against people instead of like dealing with a personal relationship. And it can lead to more stress for all parties because they would be dealing with betrayal plus perhaps lying about a previous relationship already having been occurring. And it would also open up people to public shame that did not do anything wrong. They were the unknowing party. And it's also I think that's enough. Let's see. And do I have to ask a question? Am I supposed to ask a question?
No, so this is your
No,
opening
that's your
statement.
opening.
Okay,
You're
okay. So
halfway through. You're halfway through your opening statement. If you want to carry on, you can.
okay. And these are personal matters, and they should not be open to public scrutiny because people can use that to publicly shame people for things that they did not know that they were being a part of. And
Okay.
let's see. Oh, I guess that's it. I'm good.
Okay, you're good. You used up 2/3 of your time. You got just under a minute left. I want to ask Alex, for the sake of the debate and for the sake of like this is a teaching exercise. Alex, can I ask her a question that might give her an idea for another question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So Alex, I'm pretty sure would have picked up on this regardless, but just Kat, from your perspective, when you're examining a question like this, think about all sides that are involved, right? So the way the question is structured, it usually makes the focus go on the husband and wife. Okay. Now, think about it from the position of the third party that is going to be the party that's going to be sued. When I ask you what was unethical about that, you pointed out correctly, they might have not known about it. But for a second, try to empathize with that person. Put yourself in their shoes. If you are somebody who is single and you are sleeping with a guy, and then you find out that that guy has a wife, how would you feel?
Okay.
Doesn't that give you another question to ask, right?
Yes. Okay. So what about the psychological trauma to the person who would be the victim that could not know that the other person was in a relationship?
Yeah, yeah. And they would also feel like they're being cheated on. I think about it. You think this is a single person. So now a person who's being cheated on is now also being sued because see what I'm saying? It gets complicated when you
Yes.
think about it from all the different angles. Okay, so you've got a minute left. If you want to talk a little bit more,
No,
I'll give you the rest of the minute. No,
not really.
okay. That's it. Cool. Okay. So we are going to go to the cross-examination side. Cross-examination, I'll give you guys up to 5 minutes. You don't need to use it all if you don't want to. Since you started, since Alex went first, I'll give him the choice. Alex, do you want to cross-examine first or second?
Thing is, if I cross-examine first, this is gonna be over. So it's fine. I'll let Kat. Because I mean,
No, go,
I
go,
don't
go,
even
go,
know
go.
if
You
guys...
go.
Fine.
Okay.
I'll go. Yeah.
Okay. Castle goes first.
Okay.
Okay, cross-examining with Castle. 5 minutes. So
I'm
why am I
not
saying
Castle,
Castle?
bro.
Fortress. Yeah.
What
It's
you
the
think,
Mister.
bro?
It's the
Yeah.
Mister that gets me. You guys all picked the Mister codes, and it sounds Castle and Fortress. Jesus, how am I going to tell the difference? All right, okay. Okie dokie. So we are going to
One
start with
starts with a C,
you,
one starts with an
Fortress.
F.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay, Andrew.
Yeah.
No, no, okay, Alex. Go 5 minutes. Let's go starting now.
Yeah, Kat, can you tell me what the question was at the start of the prompt? Can you repeat the prompt?
Should you be able to sue the person your partner cheated on you with?
And for me, that this question implies should, as in, is it possible?
I guess.
So therefore, all your questions, all your subs regarding, it's more like, what if she doesn't know? What if it's all irrelevant? Because the whole question is only asking, should I be able to? Only need to point to one single scenario in which it is possible for this one in my favor.
Is that true? Like, what about one single scenario where it would not be good?
Sure, I can give now. The scenario is the person that you are cheating with, let's say your wife cheats on you with a guy who is completely that she is already in a relationship and does it out of malice. So that gets rid of the what if he doesn't know, emotional trauma, all that kind of thing, right?
Okay.
So can I don't know if you heard all of that, but I didn't because you're breaking up a little bit. Can you repeat that last bit? Because I don't, Kat, did it sound like he was breaking up or not?
Yeah.
I didn't hear a little bit there.
Just give me a bit more time.
Yeah, I
Right.
paused
So the
it.
way the question.
Yeah, I know. I was saying
Yeah,
I
okay.
paused it, and I'll let you talk until it's all hashed out because I'd like to hear that as well.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
if you can
So
just repeat.
it's fine. It's fine. So the phrase is a should question. Should we? And this is why I didn't make the distinction. Is the question is should we be able the other woman or the other man in this case, right? The question is should we? This only implies to think of one single scenario where it is possible in this debate, which means all I have to do. Remember, the only two you gave in your opening statement were the psychological trauma done to the other man, and what was the other one that you gave?
Difficulties to prove it.
If they didn't know that they were being cheated on.
Mhm.
So all I have to do is paint you where the other man / woman knows exactly what she is sleeping with the other out of malice. And she's definitely therefore not going to get any psychological trauma for that, doing it out of malice. So the only two objections, and I've already counted for those two objections. This is over.
Okay, it's your. I will leave that. That was your question. You got a response from Kat, and now this was your follow up. You've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Who,
Do you want
me?
to ask any other questions? No.
Oh, okay.
Alex.
No, I don't have any. I don't have any other questions, bro.
Okay, so Kat, we are going to start the timer for you. You can address what he just said if you want to. You've got 5 minutes. You can pick up on any of his questions. I would suggest that you think about how you feel about what his last statement there was. And if there's any issues you have with what he said, pick up on it. Ask him to explain himself better. You've got 5 minutes. The timer starts now.
Okay, so since the responsibility should be on the partner that cheated, not the other party that's not in a relationship, then just because in one case the person would know about it and do it maliciously, being like the other party, that does not mean that. I don't know, this is very confusing for me. Let me see. Can I do I have to address what he said? Can I just put my opinions about?
No, you can ask me a new question. It's fine.
You can ask any other question, yeah.
Okay. So
But suggest that if you want to look strong in cross-examination, if you come across
I've paused the
party, that
timer.
you address my question. Yeah, whatever time was taken. I would
Think about it
suggest
this
that
way.
if you are the responding party, that you don't ignore the questions that I threw at you, because that just makes it look like you're avoiding my question.
Okay.
If you
building
can.
on what Alex said, if somebody usually asks you a question that you respond to, and then they clarify or they kind of try to reframe what you said or respond to what you said, and then they say it's done, and then they concede the rest of the time, usually that leaves the ball in your court and makes it look like something that you can't return. So it should be addressed, because otherwise, like Alex said just now, I mean, it could kind of make you look bad.
Okay.
I think, I'll be honest right now, I think that the point that Alex made, and I'm not saying that this because I'm not critiquing his debate style, I'm critiquing the position that he's arguing for. The position is a weak position. So it was not a good, I don't want to say it's not a good argument, but I'm saying it's the position is pretty much an invalid position.
It's the best argument I could put out, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best argument that he could have given with such a shitty position. So
Okay.
if you feel like what he said didn't make sense to you, if you feel like what he said was weak, but maybe let's say you don't fully understand it, you can press him. You've got 4.5 minutes to press him to try and justify what he said. right? So you can go with that. I mean, essentially, look at what it was that he said. Try to if you can remember what it was that he said, um, and hit it back from there. Like attack him on that. Like try to make him explain himself better. Okay,
Okay. All right. So are
the
you
time is restarting. Sorry, by the
okay?
way.
So
Mm.
are you saying that it is not the responsibility of the person who's in the relationship to remain faithful?
No, I never said that.
Okay, can you just re-clarify what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that the way the question and the prompt was phrased was a question of whether it is possible, should it be possible to sue the other woman and the other man. It does not speak to how let's say how flexible and how prominent this power should be. So as long as we can concede that there's one single scenario in which per your own standards this is possible, you don't have an argument.
Okay. But do you see that the person in the relationship who is not cheating would have more fault and should have more chance of being sued than the person who was not cheating?
Sure.
Then wouldn't that mean that it should not be the person who your partner cheated on you with that has to deal with legal stuff, but it should be either the person who was actively cheating?
Why not both?
Because the other person could not have known that they were a third party?
No, but in the situation I drew, I said, what if they knew? And they did it anyway. Remember, I can shift the goalposts in this, you can't.
Okay, so let's say they knew it anyways. Does that justify the prolonged legal issues and emotional distress for the primary relationship partner who is dealing with both somebody cheating and now a third party that they have to sue or something?
I don't know, bro. These were your standards. I'm just going according to your
Oh my
argument.
gosh, this is freaking annoyingly hard.
It's okay. I'm being mean on purpose. It's fine.
I don't know.
No. These were your standards. You gave me two scenarios, two reasons for why it should be unconscionable. Now that I've taken these two reasons away from you, you shouldn't have an argument left, right? You should agree with me, right?
No. So yeah. What about I don't know. Like, this is so confusing. I don't like debating. I don't think I like debating.
Okay, look, Kat, you sound like you might concede the rest of your time.
Yeah.
It's
Look,
fine.
let me tell you some of the questions that I would have asked, okay?
Okay.
Because I think you were very close to them, and some of them you were touching on, but you didn't really elaborate on it fully, and you didn't really kind of maybe phrase it as kind of as pointedly as you could have. But
Mhm.
so, for example, just a couple of things. You cut down on it, but you still do the thing of like saying okay. Don't do the thing of saying okay. Don't agree with him. The other thing is earlier on when he was asking you a question, he phrased the question back at you, and he did the same thing that Tareyak did. He slightly reframed it. And when he was asking you, so don't you think he left it as an open-ended question to you, and you said, I guess. Don't guess. Don't guess. Again, he's doing the thing of he's trying to sell you something which has got other shit baked in it. Just say no. Just say no. Just say it, and if you don't be afraid of saying, explain it to me more clearly.
No, okay,
Okay.
wait. Hang on. Speaking as an external party now, don't just say no because you should say no. You don't know any other way than to say no. If the guy actually makes a good point, please agree with him, or it will make
Yeah,
you
no,
look
no, 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 no.
ridiculous.
But I'm saying if it's something that makes you feel confused, don't say I guess. Say, but definitely in those cases say no because you don't understand. Just say no, I don't get that. Like I said, don't be afraid of saying explain it to me more clearly. Because if they try to look again, look at what Andrew Wilson does. Like Alex mentioned it earlier, and Tareyak mentioned it earlier. When they come at you with all this rapid fire stuff that they're throwing at you, they can bake a lot of crap in there. So don't be afraid of saying like slow down. Or when they finish their question, say, I didn't understand half of that. You're talking too quickly. I don't know what you're trying to bake in there. Please break it down for me a bit more understandably. Right. So my questions would have been to Alex, like, first of all, he's assuming the question a different way. Okay. From the very beginning, what he was doing was he was saying, like, should a couple be able to do that? Right. So my first question to Alex would be this. I'm going to restart the timer. So let's go here. I'm going to restart the timer, and Alex and I are going to run through this just so you see like what other questions you could have asked or how you could ask the questions a little bit differently. So first of all,
You just want to
Alex,
give me the L, right?
no, we're using you as an example here. You lost just based on what the question was. I'm sorry, but the question was a terrible question. That's why I gave it to you, because I know that you could have thought. I wanted to use you to prove what we were saying earlier. If you argue from a bad position, you can still make it work for you by using a couple of logic tricks. And I just wanted to see to try and find ways around it. So
I know,
if I was
I'm
going
just
to ask
playing with you,
Alex,
bro. I'm playing with you.
yeah, no, I know. But when
Go
you
ahead.
finished, Alex, can you break it down for me how you finished your last question when you were cross-examining her? Because that's what we built off of when you left the ball in her court. Do you remember? Do you remember how it was you said that, the last question?
Only asked her one question. I only
Yeah,
asked her one question,
but how you
but
ended it.
how the argument was phrased. How did I said, as long as I can come up with a single scenario in which it is justified according to your own standards that you have leaning statement, then
Right.
you should agree with me.
And when you were, yeah, okay. So you ended it. One of the other things that you said, I think, off of one of her early questions, when you responded to
I
some of
can't
the early
remember, bro.
questions, yeah, you're basically saying that the question as it's asked, you asked the question, say, can you repeat the question for me? It was should a person be able to do this? And you tried to redefine in a way how you interpreted should to be taken to mean with regards to can it be done? Is it possible? Right. So the first question that I would ask is to
No,
say, go ahead if you want to explain.
bro, I didn't. The should implies a thing. Like, is it let's say I or efficient or whatever to do something. This doesn't speak to how often or to the degree in which he should enforce it. It's just a simple it should exist.
Yeah, okay. So my question to you would have been, uh, as I understand it, or as I'm talking about it, should can be related to the ethical validity of this. Okay. Now, with regards to that, can you explain to me how you think it would be allowed or it would be conscionable to say we should take somebody who potentially does not know that they are breaking up a family, that a married man is sleeping with them? What right do we have to punish that person?
What?
Well, no, I never said you should.
Well, you're arguing that we should be able to do that.
You see, okay, you see, bro. The thing is, right? Like, the fundamental issue knocked me down with the question well enough, right? The question was should concede everything. I can concede everything until the cows come home. Why Cat lost this statement is because in her opening statement, she gave clear criteria of why this would be unconscionable, and she left it as exhaustive. The two criteria
No, but
were
she's not limited to that. You can add, you can build on it. That was an opening statement. I'm not limited to
okay.
using what the opening statement says.
But it doesn't matter. Craft a scenario whereby I lock down all of the criteria she lists out, and And remember, I can change, I can shift the goalpost times as I want.
Yeah, so can
Because
I. You said earlier when you told her that she can't, only you can. We can shift the goalposts too. We're not going to do it because that's not really an ethical way of arguing. But I just want you to answer the question. Do you think that it is right to sue somebody who does not know that they are sleeping with somebody who is married?
I don't.
You don't. Did you say you don't? I didn't hear.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I said I
So
don't.
why should we? So why should we be able to then?
I never said we should.
Okay, well now I'm confused because that's the argument
No,
that's the
no, no.
argument that you're supposed
Your
to be defending.
question is okay. You see, text now. The question
Sorry?
was phrased: should we be able to sue man/woman? It does not say should we be able to man/woman if she doesn't know.
No, I know it doesn't. I'm saying should we be able to do it? I'm leaving it open-ended for you. You could say in terms of this, yes, in terms of that, no. But I'm just asking you, should we be able to?
Yeah,
So, okay,
as
explain
in
to me.
should we be other man/woman? Period. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so so now you've changed it. So now you're saying that yes, you should be
No,
able
yeah,
to.
because I didn't understand the question.
Right. So my question to you is, when should we be able to do that? If you're saying that yes, like you
Well,
think
according to
blanket, yes, we should.
yeah, well, according to your own standards, you gave me criteria in which the only criterion in which it would be to sue. So according to your own standards, when I take those two criteria, it automatically becomes by your own standards okay to.
Alex, you're breaking up a little bit, man. I think you need to. So according to my
Can
own
you hear me?
standards,
Can
that's
you
where
hear
you
me?
started breaking up. You said according to your own standards, if you can carry on from there.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you're adopting cat statement as well, right?
Sorry?
I'm assuming that your opening statement, right?
Yeah, I'm just continuing. I'm just doing Kat's. I'm just repeating Kat's
No
cross-examination
problem. No
side.
problem. No problem.
So just tell
So
me, yeah, tell me what you're saying because this is my side of the cross-examination now, but you're kind of saying a lot.
yeah. So my retort to you, what I think is irrelevant, because you're the one advancing the position. You advance the position by listing two criterion out for why it is unconscionable to sue the other man/woman. Means by your own standards, if I account for those two criteria, then you lose the debate. So
No, I
it is
don't. Go on.
irrelevant what I or how I feel whether it should be conscionable or unconscionable to sue. You feel
Explain why. Explain why it's irrelevant. Go on.
because
You
you were the ones who set the parameters in your opening statement.
We
I
did not
didn't.
set the parameters. We made okay. So listen, Alex. I made a opening statement, or Kat made an opening statement as to why you should not be able to do this. Okay, this is not a finite statement. It's not an absolute one. We can build on it. That's the purpose of the cross examination. You know that. I know what game we're trying to play. So now I'm asking you questions, and I'm saying, under what condition do you think it's okay for us to sue?
Bro, this is so unfair, man. This is so unfair.
You don't like the position, but come on, let's grow up, put your big
Uh,
boy pants on, and let's do this. Now look, I'm just
fine,
trying
fine,
to do
fine.
this
We'll
for
do good
Kat's
faith.
sake.
Fine. We'll do good faith.
Yes.
Okay.
So Kat, here's my point. This is just to run through it very quickly. We already explained why it's unethical. This is the point you were making. And now he's trying to say, well, we're limited by the standards that we set at the beginning of the opening statement. No, we're not. We can build upon that. Now we're having a back and forth, and I'm saying, I need, again, hold the feet to the flames based on how it's unethical. Saying, how can you sue somebody who didn't know that they were sleeping with somebody who's in a relationship? So now, Alex, if you'd be so good as to answer that question. How can you sue the party who is not married? Explain how you can sue the party that's not married. How it's ethical. Go on.
I mean, if they knew,
You've got your options. Sorry, what was that?
Like, if they
What? Go
knew,
on. If they knew
dude,
what?
if you
If
look
they
at,
knew that the
if you look
person was
at,
married. Okay, so this
I
was the
mean,
argument
dude,
that he used.
there's a doctrine that governs it. If you,
Yeah, so no, this is the point that I wanted to continue from, because this is what the point that you made with Kat already. You said if they knew and they did it out of malice, correct?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing that kind of stumped you, Kat,
yeah.
because that's when you started tripping up. So when he said, so what if the person knew and they did it out of malice? That proves my point. So in that situation, that the person was acting out of bad faith. They deliberately wanted to break up the relationship. They knew full well what they were doing. They were being a degenerate. They were trying to sabotage this marriage and ruin this person's life. Now, the simple thing is that you can flip that back. You can just say to them, and this is the question I'm going to ask Alex now. Okay, Alex, that's cool. They did everything in bad faith. They're a terrible person. However, they are not married. They did not take any vows. They are not at all indebted to somebody to some kind of level of owing them some kind of loyalty or anything. So just because they decided that they wanted to get involved with somebody who's married, the ownership in that case is on the married man to be loyal to his wife. And if he decides to then cheat on his wife and submit to that, or kind of succumb to that temptation, he is the guy at fault. Okay, the single woman didn't take any vows, didn't make any promises to anybody. So can you please explain why we should then sue her?
I mean, the vows aren't the only thing that govern moral and ethical standards.
Is that your answer?
No, that's my question.
You said the
I'm
vows aren't
trying
the
to
only
clarify
things.
your position.
My position is that the single person didn't make any promises. The married person did.
Exactly,
So
but the
that's what the
right,
duty. Okay, go on.
right. But the way you was through the lens of vows in marriage, right?
Right. Okay.
So my question is, from an ethical / moral
And I'm going to
perspective,
stop you
if the
there
only thing
because
that
Kat, from this position, you put the pressure on. It's your line of questioning. So when he says, my question is this, I just say, it's my line of questioning here. Okay. So now you squeeze, you go in, you go for it. This is my cross examination. I'm asking you a question. So, Alex, answer the question. I hate doing that. I really hate doing this bit. Answer the question, but go on. You put the squeeze on. You put the squeeze on. They're arguing
because
from
this is a
back
shit
foot.
position.
It is a shit position. I agree. This is not us humiliating Alex. It's a shitty position, but this is what happens in debates. Sometimes you get a shitty position, and it's okay
No,
because this
I'm
isn't
not
something you
humiliated,
believe
bro.
in.
I think I did pretty well.
You did great. Okay, should we
Yeah,
call
I
it that?
did pretty
Okay,
well.
so see, this is the thing. You did well. It's a difficult thing, and arguing from that position of confidence, like you can't say anything. Alex does that really well. He's like, well, I win there. Like you can't. You've got no argument for that. You've got no argument. There's a precedent set here. There's this, and the important thing is that isn't it, Alex? You don't let that fluster you. You don't let that fluster you. Don't believe what they're telling you, right? You scrutinize it. You keep yourself on the front. And when you see the opening, you go and attack. And remember whose side of the cross examination it is. If it's yours, don't let them flip stuff and ask you questions. You just say, I don't need to answer you. I've got the line of questioning here now. I'm asking you questions. You don't ask me questions. And if they do that, usually when they're trying to flip it, it's because they know that they feel like they're in a weak position. So use that to build your confidence. Okay?
Dude, you should
Cat
just.
dive.
This is turning into a debate between you and me, man.
No. Cat dived into debating and realized immediately, I don't like this. I don't like this. I want to talk about conspiracy theories and urban legends.
Oh my gosh, my brain.
Okay, are you regretting this already, Kat?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like formal debates, I guess. Like I'd rather fun where you just yell at each other and like, you know.
We can do that. We can do that. David and I actually have a debate going on. You know, I think he might know something about that.
We're not gonna go there. Let's not take
Dude,
it
come
there,
on, man.
'cause
Come on. You're gay, man. Come on.
see who keeps bringing it up. Do you see
Wow.
who keeps bringing it up?
Only because
I
you're
mean,
gay. Okay, let's stop before this gets out.
didn't I say this? Didn't I say this, Cat, on your last show? I said I
What?
don't know why he wants me to be gay.
Oh gosh.
I
I
kind of
don't
feel
want you to be
pressured
gay. I'm
into.
just
I
good at
don't know.
recognizing patterns.
He's good at recognizing gay guys. I don't know where he goes to be so good at
I
recognizing
prefer
gay
men.
guys, but
I prefer.
he
I
seems to
I can
know.
tell I've good gaydar, man.
Yeah. I think that's kind of a self own, but okay. So
Mhm.
okay, Kat, how do you feel?
Terrible.
Terrible.
Like I don't think I'm ever
It gets
gonna
better. It
say
gets
it.
better.
You were getting better every time we were doing it. You were getting better. I feel like you were getting
Yeah.
more confident. Especially in the last one, you were doing well. Like you were asking a lot more focused questions.
Yeah.
Don't let people derail you.
Okay. Well, like
Yeah, it's fine, bro. The more we do this, the more she'll improve. We just have to do this like 6 times, and she'll be.
6,000
I'll call
times.
Andrew and I'll let him debate you.
No.
The
No.
debate.
No. Okay, because like what Andrew does sometimes is he'll be like, "You really believe blah blah blah," and then he starts laughing at you, and I don't know how to come back from that. What would you guys do?
You call him out and you say that's the incredulous. It's a fallacy and he knows it.
With regards to what though, like when you said that he laughs at you after saying that, can you give me like some maybe more focused?
Okay, he asked
Dude,
me.
it can be any position.
Yeah.
He'll just say like, "Ha, how can you believe such a ridiculous thing? Ha 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 ha." And then and then you
Uh,
literally say, "You know it's a fallacy. You know it is. Stop it, bro."
no, you just say to the person like, what does that question achieve? I mean, what are you trying to achieve with that? Like, how can I believe that and you laugh at me? How's that a debate strategy? I don't understand.
See, I think it's easier to debate like young, dumb people.
Andrew, we love you.
No, we do love Andrew. Yeah, Andrew's great. But the thing is, he uses a very I've said this before, and I don't mean it as a criticism. Because look, you can see some guys who do all the and one flash shit in street ball, right? And when they step up to like have like a just a game of 1-on-1 or 3-on-3, they do all of the flash stuff. They've got all of the style when it comes to everything, crossovers, everything beautiful, great. But they can fight somebody whose game is ugly, but it's all hardcore fundamentals. And if you've got the fundamentals down and that's all you've ever been drilling, you can beat somebody who's far more skillful when it comes to all the flash stuff. Now, what?
Sorry. He- David, do you know the pistols joke?
No, sorry.
It's good.
Oh God, this guy you need to show it.
I'll send it
Please
to you.
show
I'll
it
send
to
you the
him.
clip. Yeah.
Okay. So Andrew uses like a very kind of very basic oratorical style of debating, but the fundamentals are there. He jabs away, he derails people's train of thought. He's constantly badgering them. He comes in with this bulldog style of attack, and it's almost like a conversational bully in a lot of places. Some of it is, and this isn't, I'm not saying this in a bad way, but some of it is kind of a little bit bad faith, and I think he recognizes that. But he argues to win. And if your goal is to win rather than to make a point, then that's how you're going to fight. There's no rules in a war, like, or at least there shouldn't be, right? I mean, we know there's rules in a war, but the point is there shouldn't be, because a war is when you've exhausted all other options. So this is why I don't really get the whole in bello ad bellum rules of war thing, like Geneva Convention stuff. If people can follow rules, then you wouldn't need a war, right? And the same goes for a debate that you want to win. You just go in there, steamroll the opponent, win any way you can. It doesn't matter if it's ugly or not.
Okay,
And
let's
Andrew has his
practice that.
fundamentals down.
Like steamrolling each other.
Well, that's when it's going to come down to.
Cat, I
You
don't want to
can't do
steamroll you.
that.
You're too nice, man.
No, but this is the thing, Kat. You need to
Yeah.
get the fundamentals down first, right? So if you like, you can't run before you can walk, right? So you need to have the fundamentals down, how to build your argument, how to stand on it, how to know how to attack your opponent. When you know how to attack the opponent, you can go in rough, you can go in hard. You can you can really argue ugly, but you first need to know how to argue. Okay.
Yeah, Cat, I will also say that you need to get the other reason why you need to get your fundamentals right is because a lot of times when we argue ugly, if you watch like me or Damon debate, it's I don't want to say it's bad faith, but it is gray area debating. You don't want your, let's say, your understanding of debate to be grounded in shaky, murky waters. So get your proper fundamentals correct, and then you can play around with it later on.
Okay.
Do we want to go somewhere else? Are we going to talk about something else? Let's look at some of the chat here. There's a couple of questions. Alex, what kind of
What?
lawyer are you? Somebody asked a
A
question
mean
about
one.
In what discipline?
Somebody said in what discipline, I think. Yeah, I'm just looking for it quickly.
Corporate commercial. My pro bono side is on criminal and family.
Cool. Okie dokie. Let's see here. Andrew laughs at some of my humor. I continue to be grateful for this. Believe in yourself. Andrew laughs at weird things. The guy's kind of evil. Yeah. Andrew, a kitten in a blender. Do you find that funny?
What?
Who are you talking to, bro?
What is going on?
I'm keep calling him Andrew,
Hey.
and he still isn't answering. You know what your name is, Andrew. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, kitten in a blender?
Yeah.
That's my lunch.
See, the guy's sick. The guy is sick. Okay, just to answer the question. Andrew has the debate strategy that I've seen. I'm guessing that since this is Project VO they actually mean Andrew, not Alex. Just to answer the question, Andrew has the best debate strategy that I've seen. Okay. If he does, that's cool. I've got some other stuff that I can show you that would contradict that, and that's no diss to Andrew. Like I said, Andrew's really good. There's people that I'd like to
I
see him
said
debate.
cats because of the joke that China people like cat. Cats.
Yeah, he eats cat and dog.
Not kids, man. I'm not Papua New Guinean.
Kentucky Fried Children. Yum.
Oh, bro.
Where is it? Hey Jake, what person is your background? Okay, engage. Cool. Okay. We're running through all of this. Kat, where are we going from here? What would you like to do next?
Do you want to moderate Damon? Sorry, do you want to debate Damon?
Okay, but give me something that I'm actually good at,
Uh,
that I know about.
what do you know about? What's your niche? No, I didn't mean it that way. I just really meant like, what's your niche?
Pick anything. Pick anything. It doesn't need to be part of the list. Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
I don't
Can
mind
we-
this. If you give me a terrible position, if I lose, I lose. But it's about
Can-
how
can-
we go about it.
Bro, can we do a fun debate?
Yes, that's what I want. Fun.
Okay. Let's do the milk should go in first before the tea bag.
Okay.
No, okay,
what-
that's a bit too retarded.
No. Let's pick
Help.
something.
Help.
You could do the pineapple on pizza one, because that could evolve into the
This is
freedom of choice.
preferences. This is arguing
Yeah,
preferences.
you can't really do that.
Let's go.
Okay, should women not be allowed to work when they have young kids and they have to stay home?
Should women
You
not
don't?
be allowed to work?
When they have young children at home?
New mothers, basically, should new
Yeah.
mothers not be allowed to work?
Yes.
Wait, are you saying not be allowed to, or be able to just stay at home, be able to not work?
I don't know which one is easier for me.
No, but I mean, you can interpret that as in you're forcing them to stay at home. Guys, we need structure. Come on, this is embarrassing.
Okay,
Let's
I
go.
think yes, you're forcing them to stay at home with their kids. Like they have to stay at home when their kids are young. Let's say like under 10.
What position do you want to give me?
Um,
I'm gonna
that-
make you take the I'll make you take the affirmative since you keep doing that to me. Yeah, give me a shit position again. Yeah, I'll give you the affirmative.
Oh, how about this one? Should women be allowed to speak outside of the house?
No.
That's a good one. Okay, so should women be allowed to speak? Okay, we're taking it from the guests. Whatever you want.
I'll give you the harder position. You argue for yes.
They should be.
Yes,
allowed
women
to
should
speak.
be able to speak.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
harder. Okay, go on.
Wait. Kat, what position do you want?
No, I'm kidding. I'll do that. They're allowed to speak. Whatever.
You think women should be allowed to speak outside of the house?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Shame.
Okay.
Shame.
Okay.
She's a feminist.
Alright.
She's a feminist. I knew
Alex,
it. I knew it all along.
Can you do the timekeeping, Alex?
Yeah. How long you the thing?
Well, you decide.
A minute.
Okay. Wait. Does anyone have to go
No.
before I set the timer?
No.
Okay. Then. Well, I would like Kat to consolidate. Learn how to consolidate. So, 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Do I go first?
Okay.
Yeah, it's up to you.
You go first.
No, you're the moderator, so moderate. Go on.
Okay. Did Kat last in the last one with me?
Doesn't matter. Just go.
To be fair. Okay, Kat can go first.
Ah.
You can go first.
What was the
Yeah.
question again? What are we doing?
Oh my god, that's a great start. I win. I claim victory.
Okay, wait.
You are
But-
arguing that women
Okay,
should
here we
be
go.
allowed to speak.
Oh yes, women should be allowed to speak outside the house because sometimes they might be in pain, or maybe they just got shot and they need to inform somebody to come help them.
What the fuck? This is retarded.
Alex, can I claim victory
Yes.
just
yes.
by the fact
Like,
that?
what does he?
Go on.
Hey, no, bro. Let's be fair. Let's be fair to her.
We're gonna be
Let's
fair.
be fair
Yes,
to her.
we're going. We continue.
The argument to scream for help to stop herself dying is a pretty good. That's a pretty good argument, bro. What's she gonna do? Mime for the ambulance to come by?
Have we paused the timer?
Yes, we have. I made sure to pause it. No, bro, what's she gonna do? The ambulance. Oh, hello. I'm in Paris. Oh,
Do you know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing a woman who's living in a state where there's a law that women can't talk, and she gets shot or wounded, and she's got her mouth closed because she doesn't want to break the law. Like in her mind, she's like, "Oh fuck, I'm glad that there's this law that doesn't allow me to speak because I'd be screaming right now." She just remains silent with a gunshot wound. Oh my god. Slips over, breaks her leg, like, nope, silence. Okay.
bro, no. To be fair, I would like you to answer that question, Damon.
Yes, please.
When
Yeah.
she finishes with her opening statement.
No, I think I'm done. I think we're good.
Yeah. Hey,
So
yo,
can we just
this
recap?
one
Can we just
good
recap
argument?
what the opening
Sure.
statement was? Women should be allowed to talk because if they get shot, they need to let
They
people
need
know
to call
that
for help.
they need an ambulance.
Yeah. Why are you laughing, David? That's a good argument.
Okay.
Okay.
Kat, you sure you don't want to
Okay.
use any more time?
Okay, go.
You
Kat,
don't want to.
No.
You're leaving it at that. That's just like that's Kat pulling
That was
out her
10
dick and just
seconds.
slamming it on the table. This is my argument. Like,
Okay. Or if their children are in danger, they need to speak to get help.
she's laughing
Okay.
at children in danger now.
Okay.
Shut
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
2 minutes on
all right
the clock.
then.
3, 2,
Cody, do you see what
1.
you've done?
Oh my god.
Okay, so no, women should not be allowed to speak. Kat is a perfect example of why. And if we allow them to, this is the kind of contagious this is the kind of contagious stupidity that men are going to have to deal with.
Okay,
If men are
but-
leaders, then that means that they don't need women to speak. Women need to take a back seat and let the men lead. So if a man is a good leader and his wife does get shot or his children are injured, the man is going to take charge of that situation. He doesn't need a backseat driver of a woman telling him what to do. I probably could cede the rest of my time here, but I'm just thinking about maybe other ways that we could look at this. If the woman is single, that might change things. Should she be allowed to speak? I would argue no. If she does open her mouth and start saying stuff, it's probably going to reduce her chances of finding a good man, from what we've seen today. So I think Kat agrees with me on that. Single, shut up, keep your mouth shut. You might find yourself a good man. If you're married, keep your mouth shut. Let your good man lead you. When you're at home, I would actually also argue that women should still shut the fuck up. It will make the marriage a better one. I'm getting based here. In the home, keep even more quiet if possible. Tiptoe around. Wear soft slippers. Don't make noise. The only time that they should speak is if they ask their
10
guys
seconds.
what they can do for them. Ask them what they can do for them. What kind of sandwich you want? How well you want your how well you want to be looked after? That kind of thing. Offer help. Just shut up otherwise.
Time.
There we go. Thank you.
Can I coach Kat?
Yes.
I'm not even sure if she needs the coaching for this. Like, this is so. Kat, you can. You have two options. Would you like to go with the in-your-face vulgar argument, which is what I prefer?
Okay, but no bad words. Go.
Yeah. Okay. So wait. The question is: should women be allowed to speak or open their mouths?
Speak.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, come on.
Sorry.
So no, but
No,
this
I
is
was
the
actually
thing
going to
where
go somewhere over there. I was
yeah,
going to go somewhere over
I
there.
know where.
Yeah.
Right. So Kat, here's that. There's a there's a perfect example of how you argue a point that you don't really agree with. You can take it to the extremes, make it funny. That kind of stuff will help uh, kind of bolster your position. And also, when you start exploring it in this crazy way, you suddenly kind of get more ideas that reinforce it. Like, all as I had to do was kind of say, can women in public speak? And I even took it to why even at home they should keep quiet. When you take it to like that level, if you look at it in that level, you can really play with some ideas. Yeah, it's fun. Debating is fun. You will enjoy it. We will get you to like it. We'll get you to be good at it. We'll
Yeah,
get
bro.
you to that level.
Shall we even do cross-examination?
Yes.
Wait, really? Okay.
Just really quick, like a 30 seconds.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. I'll give you a minute.
Cross-examine as much as you want, Kat. Pick this apart. Pick it apart. Just take as much time as you need to cross-examine it. We've got
Okay,
some time.
I'm not even gonna coach you. Come on.
Okay. What if she?
3,
Do I start?
2, 1, go. Yeah, go.
What if she needs to speak on behalf of her husband who cannot speak because he's having a heart attack? Or what if her female children are having some sort of pain and her husband is working and she needs to find another man to assist her? And what if she
Okay,
is
these are lots of questions, but
okay?
let's go one at a time.
Hire
So
a man to speak for you.
So if what was the first one? What if she has to speak for her husband, for her man?
Bro.
Sorry? Am I missing something? I was asking for what the first part
The
of the
first
question.
question is, what if she has to speak on behalf of her husband who's having a heart attack and he can't ambulance or whatever?
Oh right, okay. Well, that I'm sorry, but that's a weak man. So that's Darwinism. He just dies.
Dude, what the fuck?
No, I'm
Oh.
sorry. Like, we're here defending strong men. If this guy's having a heart attack, I'm sorry, but he wasn't doing enough cardio. I know, like, you want gains, you avoid cardio, but there has to be some kind of sensible attitude there. So if he's having a heart attack, she should, in his last moments, respect him and shut the fuck up and let him die in peace.
What if she? Oh, see, now you brought Kat's husband into the room. You see what you've
Yeah.
done? You see what you've done? Just would you like to repeat what you said,
Yes,
Damon?
please.
Would you
Please
like to
repeat your point.
So, Stephen,
Yes.
we were arguing the case of should women be allowed to speak
No,
in public?
definitely not.
Yeah,
Horrific.
exactly. Thank you. The question was,
that's
should they be allowed to
terrible
speak in
idea.
public? I explained why women should not be allowed to speak in public, nor in private, actually. Even at home, they should shut up unless
Yes.
they're offering help. Yeah, thank you.
Hostage
Now,
tape all around.
Kat's cross-examining me, and in the first cross-examination, she said, but what if she needs to speak on behalf of her husband who might not be able to speak because he's dying of a heart attack? Now, my point was, exactly, thank you. He agrees with me. I said, this is a weak
What?
man. He should just be allowed to die. And also, she shouldn't shit on his final moments by ruining everything by speaking.
Exactly.
She should respect him and give him silence. Thank you.
Right.
Kat, you've got a good husband right there. That's excellent.
Let me die in peace.
Exactly. Thank you.
I don't need to hear something while I'm dying.
Yeah. Imagine you in heaven, like, how did you die? In the last moments, I had to listen to my wife saying, what can I do for you? You're a woman. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Learn CPR in the next 15 seconds? No.
No, I want mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Yes.
Wrong
on my
mouth.
penis.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Inappropriate.
Oh, You ruined the
Yes.
moment.
Yes.
There we go. So next
Speaking
question.
of-
Oh, shit. Don't say anything weird. No.
This is
Next
ugly.
question. Still cross-examining.
Okay. I have to ask another question. Okay.
You don't have to.
I mean,
Well, I
you
need to
can
eat.
concede the
Okay,
time.
okay.
So I'm gonna
Okay,
go.
go.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Yo, he's based, man. That's
Why?
a good.
And this is why their relationship works so well.
Because he ignores me.
based. Uber W for Steven, man. Uber W.
Oh my gosh.
Like to ask another question, or do you give up? Oh.
I think you guys win this one. So
Okay.
yeah, I really don't see any way I could win this. This is a battle I have lost.
See, and it
Wait,
was a
so
terrible position.
why are you
It's
still
not a
talking
good
to us?
position.
Wait. No. Hang on.
Okay.
If you agree with what Damon says, then women should be quiet. What are you saying to us now?
Because I'm a bad woman.
Oh,
Right. Okay.
Damon, would you like to cross-examine?
I need to cross-examine because
Okay.
if I cross-examine her, that means that I'm taking the side that women should be able to speak. So
So you
I'm not
can't.
going to, on principle, I'm not going to cross-examine her. Because anything she says is just irrelevant.
I mean, sure.
See, I've got to be careful. I have to be careful to stand on my own principles to support my argument. So therefore, no questions. Shut up.
Okay. All right. So this was a very good debate, guys. I feel like we really solved some of life's like big questions, like big problems in the world. And yeah, I think we've done like a service for humanity because people could look back on these and really see like where they need to take the world, towards for like a better tomorrow. And, that's
Better
thanks to
tomorrow
us.
where women just don't speak.
What are you going to do?
Oh God, I feel like I'm channeling Bill Burr before he became a feminist.
I know.
Okay, all right.
All right.
So that's it, guys.
Guys, like
Thank
and
you.
subscribe to everybody.
You can subscribe to Cat Boys. She's great. She's
Cat's
great.
And Steven's based as fuck.
Why?
Yes.
He didn't say anything, and you guys, everybody likes him more. To be a boy.
All right. Peace out, people.
Take care, guys. Take care.